All right, everybody, we are live. Thanks so much for joining me on this Sunday afternoon. So for those of you that are here, you know that we have a guest, a very super special guest, and that's Key. Key, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you so much for having me. Really excited to be here. And I know I was here a couple weeks ago, but really excited to come back.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. I think we both are kind of really excited about our the topic, and so today we're going to be talking about kind of our favorite cards that we got this year. And I kind of stacked the deck a little bit because I got a lot of really good cards. I'm getting a lot of good use out of it. And it sounds like you are too. So I think we'll have a couple of good things to talk about.
Oh yeah, we definitely will. I think between the two of us, we have maybe close to 40 cards that we've opened this year, which is insane.
It really is, yeah.
Philip, for those of you that don't know me, is it okay if I give a quick introduction of myself?
Absolutely, yeah, definitely. Tell us about yourself.
All right. Well, happy Sunday, everybody. My name's Key. I run the YouTube channel called Key Adventures. I've been utilizing credit card points and miles since 2016, and it really helps me subsidize my travel goals of having at least one trip per month. So that's what my channel's about, but ultimately just trying to get better at public speaking. So happy to connect with Philip, and just so many other people are just so welcoming. So greatly appreciate you.
Absolutely. Yeah. We when I was in high school, I joined Toastmasters to try to help with public speaking, and it was actually really interesting. It was kind of really corny, but it was a great way to meet people. But public speaking is very important.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, so we got a couple people in the chat room. We got a Chad's Money Minutes in here. What's up? Thanks so much for being here. Mike Newland is here. Hi, everyone. Awesome. Thanks so much for being here as well, Mike. And then, and then we have, he's saying Major Key. That's awesome.
Appreciate it.
Yeah. And then we have Lenora is here as well. All right. So, and of course we got Kirby Points and Miles.
Kirby?
So, yeah, so glad to see him here. Okay, so I think we're going to go ahead and start off by I'll ask you, what is your favorite card that you've opened so far this year?
Wow. Okay, so I've opened 14 cards this year, and I'm just kind of looking at them here like a deck of cards per se, but I think right now it has to be the Bank of America customized cash card.
Oh, nice.
Is being my favorite out of all of these, which is kind of crazy.
That is kind of crazy. I have to say, I really looked into that, and I applied for it, and I was actually denied for it. But it's really good, especially right now. There was a really high bonus on it recently too, right?
Yeah, so I got $200 cash back after spending $1,000, and for the first year, you normally get 3% cash back, but they're doubling that. So I get 6% cash back. And If you have this card, the only category you should be picking is online shopping, because you can do everything with that and getting 6% cash back.
That is nice. Wow. Yeah. 6% back on online shopping. That's kind of crazy. So I got to ask, with that, do you prefer, when you're online shopping, would you rather use the Rakuten card or this card? I don't know. Do you have the Rakuten card?
Yeah, I picked up the Rakuten card sometime in Q4, but it's a toss-up right now. With the Bank of America card, it also comes with a 0% offer. So for me, I did some renovations. I was kind of doing some stuff around the house. So that 0% really comes in clutch for me. So I'm going to have to say, still, for online purchases, it's got to be the Bank of America card, even though the Rakuten card should not be slept on, especially it's now the Bilt card, I guess, for some people.
Yeah, the Rakuten card is so great. I got that recently, and it really kind of turbocharged my Black Friday spending. So that was nice. And we're doing a decent amount because of baby stuff happening. So,
Yeah. Early congratulations on that. I can't wait.
Thank you.
Yeah.
In fact, you'll notice that I'm in a different place right now, and that's because as of yesterday, studio is completely broken down. We're just that's going to be the nursery now, so everything's out of that room, and we're just going to kind of put stuff in it as it gets placed. So we're in a time of transition now.
Love it. And I mean, I don't know if I'm speaking for anyone else, but for myself, really appreciate you being so transparent about your family and how you're kind of going through this process. And both
Thank you.
financially and also, just emotionally and everything like that. So really appreciate it, and very cool to see another part of your home as well. So
Thanks so much. Yeah.
yeah.
It's honestly it's kind of weird. Like I've never really been one to like want to share, but like I feel like I just like know so many people in this community that's like I'm just sharing things with my friends. And so, it's
Yeah.
it's a good feeling.
Yeah.
So
Really
I
appreciate
have
it.
Yeah, thank you. So I think I probably should answer. I think if I had to talk about the card that I've gotten the most use out of, I probably would have to say the Mesa card. And I just recently did a video where I talked about this huge redemption that I made. And it's kind of sucks because I did it literally the day before the Omni thing broke. And I was like, man, I really wish I hadn't cleared out all my Mesa points.
Mm.
uh,
Now, okay, I'm a little bit
yeah, go
ignorant in this area. I don't know much about the Mesa card. Can you kind of fill me in on what's the hype
yeah,
around that card, and why, people should get that?
absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. So every time buddy that knows that I have the Mesa card and that is in credit card points and miles, they kind of say like, why did you do this over like say the built card? And well, the first part of that answer is that Wells Fargo wouldn't give me a built card. So that's, the first part. But the second part is the Mesa card, it has no annual fee, but you're able to earn, basically you can earn 1x on your mortgage payments. And how that works is you have to tell them how much your mortgage payment is. I've heard from some people in the community that say that they kind of goose that number a little bit, and they did go through a round where they asked you to send a mortgage statement because you don't actually pay your mortgage through the Mesa card. You just have to basically tell them that you have a mortgage payment. They just give you points, which is kind of
Really?
incredible.
Okay.
Yes. But you do have to spend $1,000 a month on the card in order to actually get those mortgage points. But you also get 3x back on insurance and utility payments and contractor payments and home decor and home stores and things like that. And so my wife and I, we found that pretty much we're able to get pretty close to that $1,000 just between our car insurance and our power and like all that stuff that we only have to put like maybe 1 or 2 Walmart trips on it and we've hit that mark. And so that's really kind of been a great way to get points. But yeah,
Okay.
so we got 100. I used 126,000 points for 2 Cathay Pacific redemptions, and so we got 2 business class tickets from JFK to Heathrow, and that ended up being about $5,000 that we saved. So that
That's
was nice.
amazing. That's
Yeah.
amazing. I did not like I've heard of the Mesa card, but I guess I never really looked into it before. Do you remember what credit bureau they pulled from by any chance? And it's okay if not, I know I'm putting you on the spot.
I don't think I do.
Okay.
People ask me that. I feel like I've heard other people tell me that it pulled Experian.
Oh my goodness. Of course it does. Where I have 20
Yeah,
inquiries.
right. Yeah. But I don't remember off the top of my head. Enough people ask me that I probably should look that up. So I'm sorry about that. But
No, no, no. It's
um,
all good. It's all good. I'm putting you on the spot anyways.
yeah.
Okay. Thank you
um,
for kind of filling me in on that. And that's definitely something I'll consider. I pay a mortgage also, and we'd be great to really not do anything different. I definitely spend more than $1,000 in a month, which is a good and a bad thing, I guess. So
yeah.
interesting. Interesting.
Yeah.
All right.
It's a good way to make homeownership kind of work for you. And it also gives you a free Costco membership, which is kind of cool. And so that's nice. And does have $30 in Lowe's credits every quarter. So it ends up being about 120. So it's weird. It's a no annual fee card with coupons. And so, that's really cool. Yeah.
We love coupons. Let's go.
We absolutely love coupons. So ABC had an interesting question that I think I'd like to talk about. And ABC's asking what our favorite hotel cards are. So I think we can probably start off with favorite hotel card that you've gotten over this year, if you have one, or just favorite hotel card in general. So whichever one applies.
Okay, I think they're both going to be the same, but my answer may be interesting. I am currently a Marriott Titanium member, and I'll be that for 2026 as well. But my answer is actually not a Marriott card, despite me
Oh,
loving the Ritz, despite me loving the Bonvoy Brilliant. That's not my answer. My answer is actually 2 of the IHG credit cards. And I am a bit sick,
wow.
so I apologize if my voice is annoying anybody. Um, But the first one I got many years ago. This kind of kicked off my journey into credit cards and travel rewards. It's the IHG Select card. So it's no longer available, but it's a $49 annual fee card. Now,
Oh
the
wow.
second card to kind of, one I got this year, and I've been waiting to get it. I'm just looking in this stack of cards, which is crazy, is the IHG Business Credit Card.
Oh
Um,
wow. That's awesome. I've
so
heard a lot of good things about that one.
yeah. So together with these two IHG credit cards, I get fourth night free at IHG stays, and also a 10% points rebate. And then, of course,
Oh
2 night
wow.
certificates as well. So lots of great things. And we talk about couponing and stacking, right? You can do that just by holding cards, right? I don't have to use these cards to pay. I'm just using IHG points. And that's my favorite hotel card. IHG is the way to go.
That's amazing. Yeah, that sounds like a great card, honestly. Between the free nights and then the 10% point rebate, like wow, that really just definitely seems to pay for itself. That's amazing. So I've added 2 cards technically. So I product changed my Boundless to the Ritz card earlier this year, but then I closed my Hilton business card, and then I actually picked up just the regular Hilton card, so the $0 annual fee one. And so I think honestly, it's despite the fact that I love the Ritz card, I'm kind of in that boat where like I've actually done a decent amount of point redemptions with Marriott this year. But I'm gonna have to say this one because I got the sign up bonus of that 100,000 points plus the $100 in statement credits they gave us. Like I think it was like maybe 3 or 4 months ago. And so this is great. And then as soon as I actually finish up with the sign up bonus, I'm going to try to see if I can get an upgrade offer to either the Surpass or the Aspire. And hopefully by the end of the year, I can actually upgrade it all the way to an Aspire. And then that way I'll have an extra free night award for a trip that we're planning in the future. So that's
Amazing.
kind of, it's not necessarily because I love this card. It's just because of what it can do for me down the road, I guess.
Absolutely. So I'll kind of piggyback onto that as well. I kind of shuffled up these cards like a deck of cards here, but the one I'm going to pull out is actually based on our conversation we had the last time, is the Hilton Aspire credit card, right? So
there you go.
This is not a card I was holding before chatting with you. And we chatted about a month ago, right? I don't feel like it was that long ago, but here's why I picked it up. I had the $0 annual fee Hilton card, very similar that you have. And my anniversary is actually like mid-December. So what I did was I didn't have an upgrade offer on the card. I don't know. Amex really doesn't love giving me upgrade or downgrade offers, but whatever. It's totally fine. We'll see.
Yeah.
But I took an upgrade to the Aspire to grab that free night, or excuse me, I hate saying free night certificates, to grab the Hilton certificate night. I'm going to see if that posts in my account. It'll probably won't post until about February, I'm guessing, with my anniversary being mid-December. But I'm going to put that night to use, and I'm going to downgrade that card back to the 0 annual fee after I use, another $50 of airline credits and all that fun stuff in 2026. So thank you for bringing that to my attention. I'm not a normal Hilton property stayer. I stayed 3 times at a Hilton in 2025 out of I think 150 nights or something like that I've stayed at hotels. So not a property or not a hotel program I regularly visit, but worth it to play the upgrade downgrade game, especially with calendar year type stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And that free night award is it's really insane how easy it is to get value from it, because it's not, as long as there's standard room availability, there's not a point cap, which honestly, so it could be up to 250,000 points basically, if it's one of those kind of like high dollar properties, like, if you're those overwater bungalows and all that. But like, for example, the new Waldorf in New York, I'm really kind of targeting that property, and it's like $1,500 for a room per night. And then, so this free night award can cover that. And so if I have 2 of them, that would even be better. But yeah, it's definitely easy to kind of get use out of it, even if you don't particularly stay at Hilton properties. And I have to say, when I was looking back at the number of stays, it's actually kind of neck and neck between Marriott and Hilton. We ended up actually staying at a couple different AC hotels across the country, just because we actually were really impressed with the point value redemptions, but also, the cleanliness of the rooms and everything. So those were really nice. But yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I'm so glad to hear that you were able to get the Aspire. And of course, I have the Ritz again because of you. So, that's it's a good card.
Yeah, gotta love the Ritz. And I think it's just important that we're always learning from each other. So like, you kind of put the bug in my ear about the Aspire the last time we talked, and I was like, maybe it does make sense to grab that right now. And I've already put to use that resort credit, the $50 airline incidental credit.
Oh,
So
nice.
I'm not even going to pay an annual fee, really. I'm probably going to pay about $40 roughly in annual fees for holding the Aspire for these next couple of months. So
That's
I'm
amazing.
I'm not really worried about it.
No, yeah, that's awesome. I'm so glad to hear that. Yeah, that is incredible. Yeah, no, the Aspire card is nice. It would be nice if the airline credit was kind of like per year instead of per quarter, but it's fairly easy enough to book value. I had been using it to up my Southwest game, but after they started putting the expiration dates on those credits, I stopped doing that. But I started so I actually use it for like taxes and fees for a couple flights. But if I ever do need to, I can just use it for United Travel Bank while that still works. But
Yeah.
I was actually just
Yeah.
watching a Anthony video today where he was
Gonna say
talking
that.
about some people. Oh yeah, where he was talking about the United Travel Bank not working for some platinum stuff. So that's kind of scary.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, what's going to happen when people actually have to fly? That's going to be crazy. There might be there might be
Yeah,
some folks that are pretty upset, about that. But still, you
yeah,
should be able to book lower cost flights and get that credit reimbursed. And then you can cancel the flight and just have flight credit for the year. So, I mean,
yeah.
I know we love complaining, right? We love saying like
Oh yeah.
everything's getting devalued and things like that. But you always have to be thinking ahead and let's just work in the now. All this stuff works now. Philip and I will cover it when it doesn't work. So
There you go. Yeah, exactly. And then we'll find out what works after that too. Yeah.
for sure, because I'm gonna be testing it.
Oh
Absolutely.
yeah. And that's one of the things I love about having like people like you in this space, because you're doing so much more travel than me or my wife can possibly do. And so like, you actually can figure out what's broken and what's not a lot faster than a lot of us can. And so it's so great that, you're able to do all that.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I'm curious. The other day I was watching you on Spencer Johnson's live stream, and you had mentioned you got 24 cards. Are you able to kind of share what those cards are? And I'm wondering if we
Yeah.
have any in common. That's all.
Definitely, yeah. So now I did. So in full transparency, I did count a couple of product changes in that, just because there are
Perfect.
like it's not new accounts, but yeah. So the Ritz Carlton product change was my first one. Then City Strata Premier. Then my first platinum was a product change from my gold card, and then I picked up Business Platinum #1, Business Gold, Mesa Homeowner Card, Amtrak Preferred, Discover It Miles, Blue Business Cash, Chase Sapphire Preferred, One Key Card, Gemini Credit Card, double American Airlines Platinum Select, Delta Business Gold, Hilton Honors Card, Fidelity Rewards, Robinhood Gold Card, Amex Gold Card product change, Inc. Unlimited, OnePay Card, Walgreens Card, Rakuten, and Virgin. So
Oh wow. Oh, what a good mix of cards you got there.
yeah,
That's so interesting. And out of all of those cards, the only thing we have in common is the Fidelity Rewards Visa card. That is
is that right?
insane.
Wow,
Yeah. So like
that's amazing.
I just love like how we can have these conversations. And even though we're doing, we're traveling, we're bringing our friends, we're bringing our family, to places, it's crazy how sometimes there's no overlap in the
Right.
cards that we need to do what we need to do. So that's why personally I find it tough to recommend things if people ask questions in the chat without knowing like the full picture. Like I need way more information sometimes
Oh
because I
yeah,
want to make sure we're giving you the right advice. And I mean,
yeah,
case in point, you have 100 cards pretty much. I definitely have over 100 credit cards, and there's
yeah.
minimal overlap because of our different
That
cards.
is crazy. Yeah. That is amazing. But yeah, no, I definitely kind of round out my year for the past 2 years of just getting like a couple of Synchrony cards, because they don't care how many cards you've opened in the last little bit. And so they're always kind of nice to round up. But yeah, no, that is incredible that there's not that much overlap. So I guess we have to talk about the one that we both have. So the Fidelity Rewards Visa. Was there a particular reason why you got it, or was it just kind of something that people were talking about? There it is.
Yeah, gotta show it, I feel like
Yeah.
I gotta show it. So reason I picked it up is because I've been with Fidelity since basically my working professional years, which hasn't been that many. And
Nice.
with this card, you set it up to automatically move your cash back or your rewards to one of those accounts, whether it's an HSA, cash management account, 401k, anything, right? You can set it up to do that.
Yeah.
For me, I'm moving away from like I have enough points when we think about Capital One, right? They have the Venture series of cards that earn 2x. I have enough points when we think about Citi, which also has a 2% cashback card. And then
Yeah,
Wells Fargo, I don't really think you need a 2% cashback card because their autograph card covers everything at 3x pretty much.
that is true.
So,
Yeah.
so for me, I was like, okay, how can I, even though I'm earning 2% cash back, that 2% is going to, significantly multiply by the time I need to touch those funds. So that's
Absolutely.
just where my head was at about like, how can I make sure that I'm thinking about now, right, with my travel goals, but also setting myself up for the future.
Yeah, yeah, I love that. I did a number of videos with the platinum, or not the platinum card, so the Fidelity card recently, and I think one that was really surprising to me was that I could use it specifically for like a 529 plan, like a college education plan
Mm.
or something. And so, like, you can open that up with Fidelity. That actually is one of the kind of types of accounts you can transfer your rewards to. And like that is like the idea of doing that. I don't know if I could get rid of all of my point spending and just put it on the Fidelity card. But the fact that I literally could earn, thousands of dollars per year just in sending my rewards for, Wells's, college, kind of expenses way down the road, it's kind of insane. Like, I love that perspective and that ability to do so. I don't know if I'm like that financially disciplined that I could do that, but I definitely will start doing that. We're definitely going to have a 529 plan. I just don't know if I would only put all of my rewards there.
Yeah,
Um,
I mean, I definitely wouldn't recommend all your rewards, especially you're going to be traveling. I know she's gonna be a lap infant for a while, right? But
yep.
you're
Yeah.
going to need to think about traveling with 3 people at some point. So I don't think it makes sense to just predominantly move over to Fidelity by any means. But you can make those decisions when the time comes.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. Awesome. Okay, so we have a couple of people. So Mike Nealon, hoping that you're not sick. Matt Smith is here. Thanks so much for being here, Matt. And then we have some other people. No, and then you were here. I am sorry that you're not feeling well. And again, if this gets to be too much, just let us know. I definitely don't want to stress out your voice too much.
It's all good. Thank you. Thank you. It's kind of like the highlight of my weekend. I've just been like relaxing. So it's so good to be on here.
Nice. Nice. This actually, so this weekend, my wife actually had her baby shower for the new baby, and so we got to open up a bunch of gifts, including a couple from some viewers. So thank you so much for those. Like, you guys are incredible. So that was our yesterday. Pretty much, I was just doing stuff about that, and so that was nice. So Tulare is here. Thanks so much for being here. Chase has an IHG offer. 1 to 7 transfer. So what is that? Does that mean like a transfer bonus? Because if that's true, that would be
1 to 7.
really interesting.
I'm guessing it's a transfer bonus. They usually have like 60 or 70%. Is that what they're talking about? I just don't know the. Let me check.
Yeah. Let me. I'm looking up right now.
Oh, okay,
So we
perfect.
have IHG. So transfer bonus is 70%.
Yeah,
So yeah, okay. So that actually could be pretty substantial then.
that's pretty solid. That's pretty solid.
Yeah.
Are you going to take advantage of this transfer bonus? Do you have any IHG stays coming up?
So right now we are sitting on about 200,000 Chase points, but basically our problem is we've booked the first part of our Scotland trip. So we booked the flight, from JFK to Heathrow, and then from there we're going to stay in London for a few nights, take a train up to Edinburgh, and then just kind of hang out there in Edinburgh for a little bit, probably staying at the Caledonian. And then we're going to be staying at a Verbo in the Isle of Skye. And so we're going to be doing that.
Beautiful there. Oh my goodness. I can still envision it there. Oh, but you're going to have a great
Nice.
time. Sorry to interrupt.
No. It's great because I think on the Spencer Johnson episode, you said that you had been there recently, and so I definitely want to make sure I'm running everything past you. But there was a really cool Hyatt place that I was trying to figure out if it would make sense to do, but the only problem is it wasn't in the part of Scotland we wanted to visit. So I'm not sure if we end up actually flying out of Paris for the way back. Then I would like to use my Chase points for the Park Hyatt in Paris. Maybe we'll use it for the Park Hyatt in London. I'm less excited about that one because it's a little bit further away from most areas in London that we like to be close to. But basically once I figure out like how many chase points I need for Hyatt, then I can kind of figure out about that. So I may not actually do that particular transfer bonus, but I am excited about the Amex to Virgin.
Yeah, I actually took advantage of that one myself. I was booking a Delta flight, and Delta wanted like 47,000 miles to
Oh
go from
wow.
here to, I live in, outside of Boston, from Boston to Florida. And I was like, yeah, right. Like, I'm not doing that.
And that was an economy?
Yeah, absolutely.
Wow, that is crazy. Absolutely
So
not. Yeah.
I was like, yeah, no. I went to Virgin, and I think I only needed 12,000 miles with that transfer bonus to make it happen. So I was
Nice.
like, all day long I'll do that transfer. So I got 400
Absolutely.
Virgin miles stranded, but it is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, like I think this is, and one thing I did want to say about the transfer bonus to Virgin is like, this is the time, if you do have a couple 100,000 Amex points that you don't know what to do with, it may be a decent idea. Now, I know there's a lot of caveats here, and like generally speaking, no kind of transfers for like speculative, transfers. But currently with Virgin, yeah, like you said, you can definitely get a lot of good savings booking Delta flights. Now, the one kind of caveat there is that it's a little bit harder to find that award space on Virgin than it is just with Delta. But you can definitely get some better options. But also, you can use your Virgin points for Virgin hotel stays. So they have one in Nashville, they have one in London, they actually have one in Edinburgh that I might be staying at. So those can be a 40% transfer bonus for hotel stays, which is actually not bad either. And I think it's usually like 30,000 points per night or 35,000 points per night at that particular property. So that's not a bad deal. But then also they have the cruises, which the Virgin Voyage cruises, Jeb Brooks actually just did a video on one last week, and it looks really cool. There's a lot of interesting food and entertainment and things, and it can take up to like 300 to 500,000 points for that particular cruise. And so, if you have like 350,000 Amex points, that bonus can really go a long way towards making that happen.
Yeah, and right now, the bonus, you have to be targeted for it, I believe. I don't think everyone has it because my
really?
uncle doesn't have it in his account. That's my player two.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
but I have it in my account, and it's 40%. So
Yeah,
pretty solid. I mean,
that's about as big as they do it.
Anytime there's a transfer bonus is pretty solid. But yeah.
Yeah. I cleared out my Capital One points when they had that 40% bonus with Virgin. I think it was last month.
Okay. All right.
All right.
All right. I wanted to run down the cards that I got in this year also. And then I know we're behind on questions. So Fidelity Visa Signature Card, the IHG Business Credit Card, the Aspire, which was a product change. I got the Barclays A Advantage Card.
Oh, yeah, that's amazing.
I got the Apple Credit Card.
Nice.
I got the Bank of America Customized Cash. The AAA Daily Advantage, I think is what it's called.
Oh, nice. A lot of people love to talk about that one.
Heck yeah. The second, Discover It.
Nice.
The third, PenFed Pathfinder Rewards Credit Card.
Wow.
The Rakuten American Express Card, aka the Bilt Card.
Yep.
The Marriott Bonvoy Brilliant.
Oh.
The Southwest. I don't know which one this is. The Southwest card, but I'm not sure which one. There's like 100.
It looks like it might be the plus one.
Okay, perfect. I got, oh man, I almost showed my whole card number. The Hawaiian card from Barclays.
Nice.
And the Delta Reserve. And last but not least, the Navy Federal Flagship Card, aka the Amazon Prime card.
There you go. Wow, that is a solid list, Key. That is an amazing list. I know a lot of people are very jealous of you right now.
So some of these cards I've had more than once. I mentioned it as I was going through, but others just needed to top up points, or I really like using 0% offers. I feel like it's not talked about enough, but I genuinely love being able to put things like my insurance and lock in that discount with my insurance company versus paying month over month on a 0% card. I have whole life insurance, so I love getting able to, front load that at the beginning of the year. And I just love taking advantage of 0% cards for whatever's going on. Life happens. So I like it.
Absolutely. Yeah. That, I never actually thought about doing that for the insurance. Yeah, because with car insurance, they sell it in 6-month increments, I think, right? Or is it can you do
6
it in a
and
full
12. It
year?
depends on your state, but yeah.
Okay. All right. That is incredible. Yeah, I never really thought about doing that. We've just used it for like whatever we're doing home renovations and things like that. Like our floors, that was on a Wells Fargo, whatever their 2% card is, the active cash.
Active cash.
And
Yep.
yeah, and then the fence went on the Blue Business Plus, and then I think we did something else on the Blue Business Cash, and it's just it's been fun. You know?
Yeah. Let
Um,
me ask you this. So you have the
yeah.
Rakuten card. Do you
Yes.
think that people need to have the Rakuten card and a Blue Business Plus card nowadays, or are those duplicative?
Hmm. That's really interesting. So, like, I have the Blue Business Plus, and
Mhm.
I will say that I don't actually use that as my catch-all just because I have the venture card. And so, like, that's, that is interesting because the forex of the shopping, if you're, as long as you're doing it, and as long as you're not spending, more than, I think, was it 7,000 a year for the cap,
Yep.
yeah, that would definitely kind of be better as a potential catch-all, like a catch-all, I guess, with asterisks, I guess we can
Okay.
say.
Okay.
Yeah, because I mean, honestly, because 4x back or plus 4x back. So let's say, like, I was looking at it this morning, and like Target was 1x, and so if I use my Rakuten card for that purchase, that becomes a 5x back, which honestly, that's kind of rivals Target's own red card because you can get
Mhm.
5% cash back or 5x built points or Amex points. So that's, yeah, no, that's a good point.
Okay.
I
All
think,
right. You'll have to have me
yeah,
back. Let's table that for another day. But I feel like we could talk about this for a good hour.
we definitely could. Yeah, yeah, absolutely. So what do you use for your catch-all? I guess is a kind of a good follow-up to that.
Great question. So right now, I actually spent down most of my Chase Ultimate Rewards points. So I'm down to like 27,000. So right now, my catch-all
Wow.
card is the Chase Ink Unlimited because I
Okay.
don't have a Chase Freedom Unlimited. So just try to build that balance back up.
Nice.
But yeah, that's all. That's it right now.
Okay. Yeah, I was actually talking to Spencer about that because, of course I was talking to Spencer, so I had to talk about the Chase Freedom Unlimited. Because 1.5x is like it feels like someone's taking advantage of you. And let's see, who was it? It was Rich with Points. A couple of weeks ago, he did an interesting video talking about how great the Chase Freedom Unlimited was. And I think he mentioned that because it had 3x on pharmacies and 3x on dining, like it was a stronger card than, say, the Venture or the Blue Business Plus, which it was an interesting take.
Hmm.
I guess it just depends on how you use your points.
Always, yeah, always.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, I don't have an opinion on that one way or the other. I think it's just ultimately like what you're trying to do. Um,
right.
it's hard to
That's
make a
true. Like,
blanket statement like that. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Like you're trying to build up your chase points, and 1.5x is the best way to do that right now for you. And so that's, yeah,
Yep.
absolutely. Yeah, it's all about accomplishing your goals.
Yep. And my
All right, let's.
primary card right now is the City Premier. So I'm trying to get. I have 87,000 City Thank You points, and I'm just trying to get that to
Nice.
6 figures so I can take advantage of my 10% points rebate one more time in 2026.
Ooh.
So that's my primary cards now. Those are the only two cards in my wallet. So there's my what's in my wallet video.
There you go. All right. Yeah, there we go. Now we can just skip that for this quarter. I will say I've actually started to use my City Strata Premier quite a bit too. I recently did a video where I was talking about how it was very helpful for a road trip that my family and I recently did for Thanksgiving. And because I started actually building up more and more points, I just started using it more because the I Prefer program is pretty strong. Honestly, like I have currently, I think 93,000 American Airlines miles, but like if I wanted to do 2 business class seats for that, I would need, a decent amount more. So being able to have, more city points would be helpful too. So I've been doing that too.
Did you say you also have the Hawaiian card?
I don't.
Oh, you don't.
Barclays
Okay.
does not like me very much. They have given me 0 cards. So
Okay. That's all good. It's all good.
yeah. All right, let's catch up on the chat just a little bit. Let me
Love
see if I can go back to where we are. So we have, let's see, ABC Asset. Yeah, so Mike said that. Hey, Let's see. All right. Yeah. Okay. So that was a Chase offer there. Awesome. Okay. Yeah. So you're also talking. Okay. Oh, at Philip, how are your family plans impacting your travel credit card strategy for next year? Okay. Yeah. So basically, for those of you that are watching it and don't know, my wife and I are adopting. The baby is due sometime in January. And so, pretty much right now, for the first couple months, we have no travel plans, which I don't know how much that will kind of come into play. Like, historically, my wife and I like to do kind of like a little mini staycation for Valentine's Day. Like, we'll use a hotel credit or something, stay somewhere locally, do dinner. I don't know if that's still like even remotely possible at this point, and I really won't know until we get closer into things. And so that might be a thing. We're kind of considering doing a summer trip to DC just because, like, we do have the big trip in Scotland in November, and we kind of I want to do a stress test of how do we get all the baby stuff from one place to another place on airplanes. And so, like, being able to have kind of one trip on our belts, I think we're really like would like to do. But again, it's just kind of all it depends on how well Jen is feeling about wanting to do travel, or like if we're just feeling exhausted. So we're just kind of playing the first half of the year by ear, and then we definitely have the big trip in November. So
Amazing.
Oh, this is a really good question. So Michael Simpson says, good afternoon, Philip and Key. What do you both find are the best transfer partners for your Amex membership rewards points? So I'd imagine you probably have a few good opinions about this.
Okay, so two things. I only hold the American Express Business Platinum because I love traveling with Delta, and sometimes it makes sense to use their travel portal, get 35% points rebate versus transferring the Amex membership rewards points to Delta. But then, so I'll say it's not a transfer partner, but I love using it as that transfer the travel portal. Second is they often have transfer bonuses. We just talked about one with Virgin. So anytime there's one of those transfer bonuses, I'm always kind of extra on the lookout for flight deals, extra on the lookout for hotel fares, etc.
Yeah.
So I can't pick a best, but right now, most recently I used Virgin. Prior to that, I've been killing the points rebate. I think I've gotten like 57,000 points back from that points rebate, which is insane.
Amazing. I will say so I currently have the Delta Business Gold card, which gives you the 15% back if you book directly with Delta. And I actually ran the numbers a couple times because we flew Delta extensively throughout the year. And my extensively is not nearly as big as your extensively, but probably like maybe 10 trips or something.
Do not downplay travel because
Yeah.
listen, you're traveling 5 times X more than anyone else, and the average American. So please do not downplay that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Go ahead.
All right. And it was actually the math was not definitely like it was like one trip, like the portal, because I also have the business platinum card. One trip, like the portal kind of made more sense. One trip booking directly with Delta made sense. And another trip booking through Air France actually made more sense. And so it's like that's one of the interesting things about booking with Delta is like there's so many different ways to do it with Amex points that it's kind of crazy, honestly.
Completely agree. Yeah. And that's why you always have to check. Like I find myself nowadays, especially having to spend a little bit more time making sure that I'm getting the best thing that's available because there's 50% off here, there's 35% over here. There may be an Amex offer or Chase offer that's offering X number of money back for spending X amount. So always having to play that game and making sure, at the end of the day, I'm just trying to spend as little cash as possible. So at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter. But when there's a deal, there's a deal. So
that's true. Yeah. And it's funny because like when you keep talking about, or you mentioned having to check multiple things, and that's definitely true. But what's also weird is that like, even after like you find what works one time, it doesn't mean that it will work the following time or something like that. Like the rules always seem to change, which is just it's kind of crazy how the points and miles game goes. And it's always like a puzzle.
It really, yeah, exactly right.
Yeah. As far as the transfer partners go, I think I would have to say if I went just based off of volume, I would have to say I've used probably Virgin a lot more. And that's because, we've had some really good premium economy deals. Like my wife and I, we flew from Atlanta to London, and we actually got premium economy. I think it ended up being like 14,000 points per seat. And that was just like, for a premium economy ticket, like that's crazy. Now it did have, I think it was like $250 in taxes per seat too. But still, like, you're saving like a good two, maybe $2,500 off that ticket price. It's crazy.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So you would say Virgin is the best if you were to say, or that's just your
It's
most
definitely the
used
one
one?
that I've used the most.
Okay.
I definitely, actually, I have transferred some points from Amex to Hilton. It's been more kind of like a topping up kind of situation. Like
Mhm.
but if you take a look at it, if you look at a room, and let's say, so I'm going to talk about the Caledonian in Edinburgh. It's like, it used to be 70,000 points. Now it's 90,000 points. And so, like, is it worth 45,000 Amex points to save $400 or $500, depending on whatever the room rate is? Maybe, it kind of depends on, like, if it's maybe, if it's just, I know the 1 cent per point is like kind of how we kind of baseline value things, but I always like to get a little bit more than that, but I'll
That's
top
fair.
off my Hilton points.
Okay. I'm looking. Did you know that American Express has 20 transfer partners? Because I don't think I've realized it was that many.
Whoa, I don't think I realized it was that much
So
either.
a lot of them are duplicative. So, take that with a grain of salt. But some of the ones I've never used, right? I've been using points since 2016. I've never used my American Express membership rewards to these partners. Aero Mexico, never done it.
Oh yeah.
ANA, I've personally never done that from American Express.
Hmm.
Cathay Pacific, I don't think as well because I usually use my AA miles for that.
Oh, okay, that makes sense.
Emirates, I've definitely never done that. And Etihad, I don't think I've ever done that either.
Wow.
So
Okay.
there's so many of these partners where I'm like, and I definitely haven't used JetBlue. That transfer ratio is terrible.
It
Um,
is. Yeah.
so I've definitely never done that. But I use my city points for that. Or now Wells
Mhm.
Fargo. So
That's right.
yeah, there's so many partners that are duplicative across all of the transferable currencies that sometimes it
Yes.
doesn't even make sense to consider them for your American Express rewards, right? Like,
Right.
so I don't know. I was just interested. 20 partners is a lot. I don't know if anyone
That
else
is,
has
that is a
20.
lot of partners. So that's a great point that you kind of brought. Like, I have certain transfer partners that I want to use first with certain like, hotel points, right? So
Okay.
like I kind of alluded to Chase. Like, I'd prefer to use it for Hyatt just because I don't have any other points that can transfer to Hyatt. For example, like for the creator meetup in next year, it's, if I had to make a 60,000 point booking, it's going to be for my Chase points. And so, like, obviously, like, I prefer, like, if I'm going to be doing kind of business class travel, I'd prefer to use, like, so my order of operations was Mesa first because I found that one kind of unicorn that worked. But then, if, like, let's say if it was Virgin, I would have preferred to clear out my Capital One points and then kind of dig into my Amex as a need to. What's your kind of way of valuing? Like, if you're making a booking, what kind of point system do you prefer to use first?
That's so interesting. I was actually going through this and I thought about making a video, but I found it was probably going to be boring. Right now, I actually will go to make sure any airline accounts, I try and have as close to zero balance in those as I can. I
Nice.
still have some points in the Avios program from a 2021 booking that had to get canceled. It was a family vacation for like 8 of us. So I'm
Oh
still like
wow.
winding those points down. And it's killing me that I still have like 70, 80,000 Avios there. So
Oh
I'm
wow.
planning to
Yeah.
go to Madrid. I don't know when exactly, but I'm going to use a good chunk of those for Madrid and back. But it kills me when I have
Yeah.
airline miles stuck. So that's my
I can see
first
that.
order of operations. How can I use these as quick as possible?
Smart.
Second is then it just depends. I personally will like to use American Express membership rewards points because of the rate that you can earn them back so quickly. Whether it's upgrade downgrade of the membership rewards earning credit cards. I don't get referrals, but shout out to Joe Barretto. He did use my referral the other day. I had like
Nice.
3 total referrals in 2025. That's amazing to me. So like I'm not the type of person that's going to have like 1,000 referrals on my Amex account.
Right.
But it's so easy to earn those points. So that's probably my first place I go. And then everything else is kind of secondary. I use a lot of Citi Thank You points. Wells Fargo, I love those choice experiences. I love bidding on those. So
Oh yeah.
they were my choice. My Wells Fargo points go. So that's my order of operations. Airlines first, and then American Express and everything else second.
I love that. I love that. I was actually trying to figure out a way to get. So I was when I was I'm still trying to plot the way home for that trip. And I was like, we'd like to end up in Paris. And I was like, there was a TAP Air Portugal flight from Lisbon to JFK that was like really, really cheap. And I was like, okay, that's kind of like what I'd like to do. But I was looking at Air France and British Airways from Paris to Lisbon. And I was kind of surprised by British Airways. Like there was one flight that was like 45,000 points per seat. And I was like, for that little tiny flight, I was like, that's just crazy.
Insane.
Yeah,
Like, why is it that much? That's crazy.
I know. But Air France getting like, even if you do business class seats, like, European business class, like they're not that much. Like you can get them for like 15, 20,000 points per person from just like Paris to London or, something like that. So I love using it for those European trips, but yeah, I can definitely imagine not wanting them to be stuck there.
Yeah, so I'm trying to wind down all my points. If I'm looking here, I got like 12,000 Air Canada miles left, 500
Mm.
Turkish, 221 United, 400 Virgin Atlantic, 1,800 JetBlue, and then like I mentioned, close to 70,000 Avios. So
Oh
I'm
yeah.
trying. I'm doing my best. I'm trying to whittle those
Yep.
down.
There you go. All right, awesome. Let's go ahead and see if we have some more comments here. We have Jordan Rules for Credit. Thanks so much for being here. Bill's halftime, so just want to stop by and say hi. I can't wait to watch this replay.
Boo Bills,
Yeah,
boo.
that game's looking pretty interesting.
Yeah, and it's snowing. That's crazy.
I know. Yeah, that's always, you got to have at least one snow game a year.
That's true.
Michael Simpson says, Philip, I think I finally hit the velocity that has made Amex pause giving me more cards since I'm now at 1712 and 1824. However, Capital One approved me for the Venture card, which was surprising. Wow, Michael Simpson.
Wow,
So
that's
I have
amazing.
to ask, was this the Venture for good credit, or was it the actual Venture card with the sign-up bonus? That would be my question. But yeah, no, that's crazy.
Wow, those stats are crazy. Like I love I thought me and you, Sledge, a couple other folks are like the craziest people on earth for like getting double-digit cards in 12 months. So I love hearing about other folks like in the comments getting 17 cards in 12 months is amazing, but also insane.
Yeah. It is, yeah. Oh man, you love the sign-up bonuses though. You get addicted to those little, those emails where they just say, "Oh, you got an extra 80,000 points in your account."
I love it.
Yeah, that's amazing, Michael. Great job. So I guess we could kind of talk about something. So I think there's something you've mentioned in a couple of your videos where, when people ever get they get denied for the Venture X, there's always something they say, and it's usually, "Oh, Capital One only approves people with poor credit." And that's definitely a core part of Capital One's business, but it's definitely like, I feel like that's not kind of the whole picture. What do you think about that?
As someone without poor credit, like my credit is pretty good. I find it offensive that people say that, but like it's totally fine. Like, do whatever makes you feel comfortable after getting rejected. Like no one likes getting rejected.
True, yeah.
But ultimately, like here's the thing. Capital One and all of these banks are very relationship based. Why on earth would they give you a credit card if you're not showing utilization? If you're the type of person that's paying off your cards every other day, like that's not really what they're looking for. So you kind of have to play the game a little bit. And I'm not saying pay interest. This is not about paying interest. This is just about showing that you actually use the cards you have, because what they're envisioning is, if they're applying for a new credit card, they're going to take whatever's on your existing credit report and shift that to Capital One. But if there's nothing, 0% utilization, why on earth would they want you to be a customer? Come on, guys.
That's true. Yeah, that is a great way to look at it. And yeah, it's definitely true that like whenever I've kind of prioritized Capital One more, they've kind of prioritized me a little bit more too. And so like I definitely started using my wife and I, like pretty much everything in our catch-all goes on the venture card. And so like they're getting at least $1,500 to $2,000 a month in spend. And I'm starting to get, kind of more like offers. So like to the point where I'm actually kind of like excited. Maybe I will get one of those potential like transfer bonuses that people are talking about on Reddit for the Saver X. That would be kind of exciting. But yeah, no, Capital One they're definitely a lot more relationship focused than I think that most people give them credit for. But it's like, I have a checking account with them, and their high yield savings account. So that was the performance savings. That's where I put all my tax money. And so that gives us a nice little bit of money at the end of the year. So that's nice.
Yeah, that is nice. That is nice.
All right. So Chad says, Mrs. says hi to everyone as well. She's enjoying our visit together to the Maple Leaf Lounge here in Toronto. Wow, that's amazing. I've heard really good things about the Maple Leaf Lounges.
Yeah, likewise. I don't think I've ever been. When I was in Toronto, I was kind of hustling my way through the airport. I was a little bit late, but the lounges, they look nice. There was no line. I love when there's no line outside of a lounge.
That is nice. Yeah. And it seems to be a little bit more rare. Now I was so upset because, well, not that upset, but I flew through Charlotte recently, and I was like, I'm going to try the Amex Lounge there to see what's going on. It's a lot smaller than the one in Atlanta, but it's just like, it's smaller, but it's very kind of like, I had to wait probably about 20 minutes to actually get in, and I only had like 40 minutes before my flight boarded, so I only got to hang out there for a little bit. But they did have really cool. They had a ice cream station where they actually like spun the ice cream there and like made it for you there. So it was a cool little lounge, but I just didn't like that I had to spend half my available time just waiting for it to be available to me. But
yeah. Here's what I will say, if you're traveling right now, especially to the East Coast or to places where it snows, Midwest, etc., it may be worth, right, upgrading one of your cards to something that has lounge access, because in the event that your flight is delayed, in the event that there's bad weather, there's maintenance, there's whatever, instead of calling on the phone and try and get a new flight, go into the lounge, and those people work for Delta, or they work for American, or they work for whoever. Right.
That's right.
They can help you a lot quicker than just like waiting in the queue on the phone or on Twitter or whatever. X.
That's absolutely right.
So it may be worth it, and then just downgrade the card when you're back. And it can help you if there's a greater than a 6-hour delay or greater than a 12-hour delay as well. So something to consider versus just paying for the insurance when you book your flight, because the insurance is great, but they can't help you rebook a flight when everyone's calling.
Yep, absolutely. And timing when all that's happening, like let's say that they've like, if something significant has happened and they've shut down like 5 or 10 flights, like timing is everything. Like if you can be the first person in that line, are more likely to have your problem actually solved. And so like being in the lounge, can being the difference between having your problem resolved or having to find a hotel room to stay at tonight, So that's a great point. Let's see. All right. So we had a couple football conversations. Vincent Pasquale gave us $2. Thanks so much, Vincent. You're so glad that you're here. And so glad that everyone is here. Awesome. We have 51 people right now. That's actually doing pretty good for me. So thank you so much for bringing the numbers. Yeah, I appreciate it.
Hey, we bring them together. Well, I mean, that's the right team effort here today. Yeah.
There you go. Phil. So I wondered if Philmo was here. I just can't do 1.5x. I'll find a vacation where I don't use UR points before I give Chase the satisfaction.
That's awesome. I feel it, right? Like this is why it's so unique. Some people love Chase points, right? Even Philip, you said like Chase points do you equal Hyatt points. That's not the case for me. I did just use a majority of my points for Hyatt for the creator meetup in 2026. But otherwise, like I have no problem moving my points to United. I have no problem moving my points to IHG or Marriott when there's a transfer bonus. So I really just think it depends. So for me, I like the 1.5x because, you know, that's how I'm going to replenish those points back. Because again, I don't get referrals, which is totally fine. Use Philip's referral link in the description. And also I'm like 124. So I'm never getting another chase card in my life. So
that's true.
That. That's that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Because in order to ride the ink train, you still have to be under 524, which is very sad.
So that train has left the station a long time ago for me.
Yes, absolutely. And honestly, like I was thinking about that. I was like, I sat down with my credit report and I was like, okay, what would I have to do to be under 524? And it's basically pretty much like, you know, it's almost exactly 2 years. Like probably maybe like a year and maybe 9 months or so of not applying for another personal card. And I just don't think I'm there emotionally, you know?
No way. No way.
Yeah.
You would have missed out on the Rakuten card. You would have missed out on the Virgin card that has an elevated bonus right now. No way.
Right, yeah.
And then there's cards like that should be coming out. Wells Fargo, some of these other cards that I'm not saying you're going to get, but like 2 years, you're going to sit on the sidelines for 2 years. Like anyone that's thinking that, please send me an email. I'm going to get you out of that mind frame right now. There's way too much opportunity.
Yes, exactly. Opportunity. Yeah. Like I've just hit over 1 million Amex points earned so far this year. And a lot of it's sign-up bonuses, right? And I wouldn't have been able to do that anywhere close if I was just like, oh, well, you know, I really need this Chase Freedom Flex card in my wallet. But yeah, so that's where I'm at. But thanks for validating my life experience. I appreciate it.
I'm here for the boost anytime. Listen.
Yeah.
Do not let people tell you what to do with your points.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah.
But I love Filmo's take. Though. I you know, if that works for you, that works for you.
Yeah, totally. And honestly, I feel like that needs to be said a lot for just this space because, you know, I see a lot in a lot of discords where like someone's like, oh, I did this booking, and someone's like, oh, what are you crazy? That's only a cent per point or half a cent per point or something. And it's like it's like, should we all try to maximize what we have? Yes, but there are different ways to categorize how those maximizations happen, right? Like let's say if I, you know, have a family emergency and I need to go stay somewhere for, you know, a couple of nights, like, and if I have to use my points and I get a half cent a point, you know, it's not the best, right? But it got done what I needed to get done. And so I feel like, you know, that's kind of a big thing that like a lot of people miss in this space. I don't know. Do you have any opinions about that?
I'm in line with you there. Like I see a lot of like, I call it keyboard warriors, like on Reddit and some of these blogs where they're like, you know, people will put like very detailed, this is what I did, you know, I wanted to go here, blah, 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 blah. Great trip report. I love seeing trip reports.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
You should be taking trips. That's how my mind works. But then I'll see comments that are like, oh, you should have just paid cash for that. Well, the whole point is to subsidize this stuff, guys. So why would you, if you have the points, why would you pay cash? I can't even, my brain can't even get on that level. I think people just like competition, right? In general. And that's where the cent per point thing comes into play and all that other stuff. But like, you're not paying my bills. Like I got these points and I want to use them how I want to use them, period. And I think I want to respond for people and be like, thank you for sharing your report and like F off, like for the rest of the people. Like
yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's amazing. All right, great. I'm so glad that we're in agreement on that one. All right, so Vincent's saying he likes the Maple Leaf Lounge at YYZ. Pretty spacious, nice. So there is.
I would have never known that was Maple Leaf Lounge. I didn't know what MLL was. I had no idea what that was. I was like, "What is that?"
I was kind of just inferring from context because like that's what Chad was talking about.
Wow, but, I was like airport code. I was like, "What is that?"
It really means multi-layer leveling. I don't know. I'm just I'm bad at making up acronyms.
No, that's awesome. I love it. There's so many acronyms.
Yeah, if you really are looking for a creator that has kind of the entire dictionary spelled out, I think that's Chad, right? Chad has the collection of all the words that everybody likes to use. So so go check out Chad's Money Minutes.
Definitely check it out. We got to add MLL to the list because I don't know if that made the cut, but I love it.
Right?
Maple
Yeah,
Leaf Lounge. I love it.
exactly. Yeah. One thing that I absolutely hate though about Air Canada, like I look at points. I just scan the the flight Daydream Explorer on pointsea.com all the time. And I see a lot of really good points redemptions for Air Canada flights, business class to Europe. But what sucks about it is that you have to go from the United States to one Canadian airport, and then you have to go from that one to another Canadian airport, and then overseas. And it seems like a lot of
Mm,
those like really great point redemptions are like have a lot of like layovers, and it's frustrating. Like I'd love to see one that only had one stop, but I guess if you're getting a cheap flight, then you don't really have to complain too much.
yeah. I haven't played around too much. I did just grab a subscription to Seats.Aero.
Oh
So
yeah,
I'm gonna start playing around with that. But that's like my first subscription that I've gotten in such a long time.
nice.
But good to know. I'll explore points, yeah, as well.
Yeah, and I love Seats on Arrow too because they give you so much like granular information about that particular flight. Like you can see on one screen like the metal that you're flying on, kind of so that you can look up like, oh, what's this seat gonna probably look like and stuff. Like they make it really easy to search for stuff, but it's yeah, it's just overwhelming when you're searching like thousands of flights across a potential of like a month or so, or even 6 months.
Yep, yep, yep.
All right. Oscar, Aeromexico is not bad at all. Better than booking those flights to partners like Delta. Depending on cabin, a 4-hour flight to Mexico can be as low as 9,000 MR points and $15 in fees. Yeah, I legitimately tried to make Aeromexico work for one of our trips. And like, it's just like, I ended up getting a better deal on Virgin, but like you can get some really solid options with Aero Mexico. Now you have to fly again to Mexico, but getting like from Mexico to like London is not actually that difficult points wise.
Yeah.
So that's good to know.
Okay. I'm looking here. I went to Mexico earlier this year, and
Oh, nice.
I'm just looking. Oh, okay. I used my Delta companion pass or whatever it's called for
Oh,
that. So I was
nice.
like, why didn't I look at Aero Mexico? Because I had a pass, but that's why. All right, cool. I'll look at that for the future.
There you go. I have to ask you. So Amex is really targeting me to upgrade my Delta Business Gold card to a platinum, and it's like I would like it, right? But I feel like because it's only 30,000 points or something stupid, and it's like I'd rather just get the platinum because I feel like if I upgrade, then I can't get the actual sign-up bonus, right?
That's correct. Yeah. What people do
Yeah.
is they'll apply for the card and then upgrade at the same time, but it depends on how much spend you have,
Ooh,
Philip. I don't know if
that's
you can
true.
do the
Yeah.
spend for both at the same time. So
Yeah.
that's what people
I
will
will
do.
say, okay. I will say we just wrapped up. It was a kind of a weird bonus on the Mesa card. So it was if you referred a couple people, then you had the option to spend $10,000 over 3 months to get 50,000 points. And it wasn't the best points, but I was really like trying to target my Mesa points because I knew I had this Cathay thing I wanted to do. And so we just finished doing that. And it turns out that 10,000 over 3 months is pushing the budget a little bit. So, but yeah, no, especially when you think about, I think for the platinum, it's what, $6,000 in spend or something. At least
I
for
think
the
it's
upgrade
8.
offer, it
I
was.
think it's
Is it
oh, okay.
eight?
I was gonna
Okay.
say I think it's 8.
So if I had to do that one plus the upgrade, so then that would be 8,000 plus 6. Yeah, that would be
It's a lot.
substantial. Now I
Yeah, it's
think it's
pushing it.
over 6 months or something, right?
True. That's true. Yeah. It's over
Yeah,
6 months. Hmm.
but
Yeah. So
yeah,
something to
so
consider. And I mean, do you need Delta miles? Because an upgrade offer is great, but you know they're going to keep coming around, Philip.
oh
So
yeah. I don't have any immediate need for Delta miles, but in fact, I
okay.
think I'm sitting at like 86,000 right now. So
Oh, come on. Yeah,
yeah,
you're fine. Don't do the upgrade offer and instead
okay,
wait for the Delta Platinum to have an elevated offer, or sometimes it has points plus like a $400 gift card or something like that. You can do like a dummy booking and
yeah,
see if you can get it that way. But I mean, got almost 90,000 miles. You
yeah.
could.
Actually, so this actually brings up a good point I wanted to ask you about. So we were talking. Okay, I just forgot it. What did you just say? Sorry.
Delta, you don't need the miles because you have 90,000
Yes, it was okay. Yeah.
upgrade offer.
Oh yeah, no. Okay. So I have a 5 credit card limit with American Express. I currently have each of those slots covered. So I have the Blue Business Cash, the Blue Business Plus, the Delta Business Gold card, the Aspire, and the no annual fee Hilton card. So pretty much like the Blue Business Cash, I finished paying off everything on that particular card this month, and so I'm planning on closing it in January, and then that way, hopefully by February or March, I'll be eligible for the sign up bonus for the Marriott business card. Hopefully, I'm hoping that there's going to be a 5-night somewhere in there.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing that I wanted to ask you was, do you keep an empty slot on your Amex credit cards in case something like that kind of pops up for you, or how do you handle that limitation?
No, for me, I just keep in my mind like what card I would cancel. But what I would recommend, Philip, is I'm in the past like 6 months, I'm seeing more and more people that can get more than 5 American Express cards, regardless of what they were able to do in the past. So I don't know if something's changed, but I personally have like 8, I believe, and that's not including my charge cards. So, and I know some others that have like 6 or 7. So not sure what's going on over there, but nevertheless,
I'll just try it.
If 5 is your limit, I would just keep in mind like keep your Blue Business Cash. I think that's a free card, right? Like it doesn't cost money to hold it, right?
No,
I would just keep it until you're ready for something, because that way you can say on the phone call, be like, hey, I just want to switch this card for that card. They handle it. It's pretty seamless. But just always have a backup plan. Like I know I'm going to get rid of my Blue Business Plus if they tell me I can't get other cards, because I love Amex. Like I'm not going anywhere. There's no sense in me having a Blue Business Plus right now until I know that I'm winding down on some of those things.
That's a great way to look
just
at
like
it.
keeping a plan. Yep.
I love that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Chad says the Centurion CLT is in average, god awful for lines and seating. It is my least favorite in the domestic Amex network. Yeah, it was not my favorite. It's funny because like I was actually sitting at the bar and I put my backpack literally on the seat. And I turned around to go get some hot tea because it was actually like the hot tea section was right behind the bar. And then by the time I turned back, this lady was like walking over to that seat, and I turned and I moved my backpack and I sat down, and she just like glared at me like I was sitting in her seat or something. I'm like, okay, it's my backpack, lady. But
that's crazy.
It was a crazy experience. Definitely not as good as the Atlanta one. So
at least she didn't move your bag. That probably would have sent me over the edge. So, take the blessings where we can.
Exactly. It is kind of amazing how like nice people are or have been to me. Like if I want to save a table or something, I just drop my suitcase next to it, and like it always seems to work. Like everyone seems to be pretty, like, oh, okay, that seat's taken, which is nice. So it that maybe that's just a kind of a Centurion Lounge thing. I haven't tried it too much at the Sky Clubs, but it seems like for the most part everyone's kind of been decent. So
I agree. Yeah, I don't think I've had a negative experience in any of the Centurions or the Delta Sky Clubs, but that's my own, or in Escape lounges as well. I haven't had any negative experiences there.
Nice. Awesome. All right. Thanks for letting us know, Chad, about that. All right. So Michael said it was for the venture for good credit. Yeah. No matter how high my credit score gets to Capital One, it's just good credit. I do think opening a checking account recently helped being approved. Okay, that's good to know. Yeah, no. So I actually, it's weird. I want Capital One to open up more cards, like just to have more cards, because I already have the Quicksilver, I have the Saver card, I have the Venture card, and like it would be cool to have like something more from them, because they're always like, oh, you can be approved, you're pre-approved for this, and it's always for good credit ones. But it's like, if they had another card I could get, I would get one.
I feel that I would definitely get it as well. Have you tried some of their business cards yet, Philip?
I honestly haven't. I probably should. I keep forgetting that I keep forgetting that those exist. Particularly, what's their business card naming? Not the venture.
I think Spark. Is it Spark?
Spark, yeah. I think one of them is 2% back. I think, right?
I love the question. I probably have it, and I have no idea because all their cards are the same. Like it's either 1.5 or 2. Like that's it.
That's
all
right.
Their cards. Yeah. So I'm going to say it's probably 2.
Okay. Yeah, I think there is one. And I should look into that, honestly.
Yeah, everything. All of their business cards are pretty much 2%.
Okay. That's nice.
I say that, and now there's some 1.5x down here, but that's okay. So,
Nice.
I mean, something to consider. Some of their business cards, though, do count towards 524. So, if that's your jam, I know you like Hyatt points and all that fun stuff. So, something to keep in mind.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, and it's weird. So like, yeah, I definitely like the idea of Hyatt points, but I will say like, as far as like, I've done 0 Hyatt stays for the past year. So like, I think that's
Same.
more like it's kind of like maybe like there's a nice property that I can think about, but I don't know. Like, I mean, I stayed at the Park Hyatt New York, and that was fun. But we really haven't done many other Hyatt stays.
Very cool.
Um,
How does I've never stayed at a Park Hyatt before. How does that compare to, like, I know you've stayed at some other top
oh yeah,
tier type brands. How does it compare to
okay.
those that you've stayed at?
So it's very similar to like a Conrad. And so
Okay.
it's like it's ritzy, but it's like more kind of on the modern end of ritzy. The beds are really super comfortable. Their room service is actually really, really good.
Oh,
It's very expensive, but
uh,
it's very good.
hate to hear it.
Uh,
Yeah.
and that's the thing that sucks about the Park Hyatts. Like the difference in having like Globalist or a guest of honor, it changes the entire experience because you get the free breakfast, whereas it's like I think it's like 35 or 45 a person. Otherwise, like it's a whole level of different experience. I will say that particular Park Hyatt, like their concierge was actually pretty good about helping us get tables and stuff at places.
Very cool. Yeah.
Um, but yeah, they have the turn down service, like the whole thing. There was actually like a heated mirror in the bathroom that had a TV in it, and so
So
like
cool.
you got it. Yeah, you got it made when you have that. So
Yeah. Love a good gadget that you just don't even need. Like, you didn't even know it
yes,
existed.
exactly. And like, oh, and the shower in that room was so they upgraded us because we kind of let slip that we were celebrating our anniversary. And so they upgraded us to like a huge room. It wasn't like a suite, but it was like it had sections that were like,
Well
separated
deserved.
off. So yeah, it was awesome. But the shower was literally like the shower itself was bigger than my bathroom at home. Like it was massive. And it had like a couple different ones on the side. And then, it was like I literally
So,
spent like probably half an hour in there just standing like this is what
as
I
you
would
should.
for.
As you should.
Yeah.
Getting hit with
Yeah.
jets all over the place.
Exactly. Yeah. I have never been that clean before in my life. Yeah. All right. Chad saying exactly key. The carrier sponsored lounge is staffed by gate agents. Yeah. That's amazing. I love that. And that's one of the things I do like about like going into a Sky Club over a Centurion lounge is they're like they will remind you, oh, your gate changed like 5 minutes ago. So it's going to be here. And you have about probably 20 minutes before you probably need to leave. And it's like, that's so helpful. I love that they have that. And then, they can announce like when your flight starts boarding and stuff. So it is really nice. I do like being in like the air specific lounges. I'm really one of my cards that I want to get next year is the American Executive card, just because we have like 200,000 Alaska points, Atmos points, and we have a bunch of American points too. And the thing that sucks about flying American out of Orlando is that there's no good lounges where the American gates are, other than the
Mhm.
Admirals Club, and so that would be kind of cool to visit. So,
Okay.
yeah.
And that's unlimited access, right? Like, there's no
Yeah,
cap
for
on the
you
number
and the
of.
family, which is amazing
Ah,
too.
so cool.
Yeah.
So cool.
That's why I think it was Call Me Lonnie was talking about like that's like his only card that he really cares about because it's just unlimited lounge access for his family, which is just amazing. See, Don Kim, I just got here, enjoyed Kiki's video combining two favorite passions I share, baseball and credit card points and miles. That's amazing.
Thank you, Dong. Thank
Yeah.
you. I realized I was looking at Dong's picture. I'm pretty sure we used to talk all the time in a Facebook group many, many moons ago.
Oh yeah.
So cool. I think it's you, but let me know if it isn't, then I'll stop talking about it. But I think it's you.
Yeah. Chasma admits you don't have to worry about timing since those without memberships are automatically filtered out. It's awesome for you. I think he's talking about the lounge situation that you were
The
talking about
lounges,
earlier.
yeah, I think that's so.
Yeah. That's good to know. Michael, maybe they just want more spin than I give them for the intro sign up bonus. It's okay. I'll save my venture category sign up bonus for the Venture X in 2026. Yeah, absolutely.
That's fair. Yeah.
I don't think the Venture 1 was actually included in that either. So if you can
really?
get the Venture 1 sign up bonus, I think you can get that and then one of the ventures. I think Spencer and I were talking about that, and
Very cool.
that's
Okay.
I think
I
that's
didn't
where
know
we
that.
landed. If anyone's watching, just let me know if I was wrong. Deb says, sorry I'm late. Thanks so much for being here. I was at Total Wine getting holiday gifts. 10x through a gift card I picked up at Walgreens. Deb, you were kind of a beast when it comes to gift cards.
Tim, awesome. And hopefully it was tequila. You know, I'm not drinking tequila right now, but that's my jam. So hopefully you got some good stuff at Total Wine.
I actually have an Amex offer on my Platinum card for the ABC store. I think it's like spend $50, get $10 back or something like that. So I need to use that by the end of the month.
Y'all have the good places down south. That's all I'm going to say. We don't have that up here in Rhode Island. But I know ABC. I know all about that.
I need to get on their special buying list, because in order to actually get like the good kind of bourbons, like the Blantons that I ordered, like I actually had to buy it through that servemeat.com thing. But it'd be nice if I could actually just pick it up around me.
Okay. I don't have a Blanton shorts around me, so let me know. I don't mind sending you something if you need anything.
All right. Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. Oh, we have interesting. So Chad is saying the Park Hyatt brand is freaking amazing. Yeah, no, it's really solid. Jen, honestly, the best thing that I think that she likes about travel is being able to come home to the hotel at the end of the day and just be like, you know, there's a turn down service, then they bring you slippers and your bathrobe is like heated sometimes. And like there was one at the Conrad in London, they actually sprayed the pillow with like a chamomile spray. So it was like scented and like supposed to like relax you and stuff. And she just loves that stuff. So a good turn down service is like that will do it for her. So
yeah, heck yeah.
Yeah.
I do not want to cut this short. Between my voice going and everything like that, Philip, amazing time. I'm gonna bow out for now.
Yeah, totally. Please, thank you so much for being here.
Any other time, especially my voice is much better. So thank you for your time today.
Yeah, thanks so much for being here. I really appreciate you taking the time on a Sunday, Key.
Bye, everybody.
All right, so Key is heading out, but you know, we can definitely stay on if you want to stick around. We can definitely keep talking about credit cards and stuff. You know, let's go ahead and get into Israel had an interesting question. Just got the Venture X. I put in 2,004 days from getting it, and they just restricted my account. Have you heard anything about this? Doesn't happen a lot. I've been a Cap One holder for 2 years. So interesting. Okay, so Israel, are you saying that? So you put $2,000 to spend on 4 days on that card? Okay. So question: was this like after you got the actual physical card? That is kind of so $4,000 or $2,000 in 4 days could be a little concerning for some of these people. So maybe that could be what it was. Were you able to get in touch with them to figure out like how you could remove it? Like, is it just like, is it completely shut down, or is it just like a okay? Oh, before you got the physical card. Okay, so yeah, it may just be they're just trying to like make sure that you're not gonna max it out before you got it, because that could be a security thing. I do know like with some cards that you get, like for example, the Rakuten card. They gave me, I had access to a certain portion of the credit limit with the digital card. But then, you know, once I actually got the physical card, then I was able to do more. That is really frustrating though. So Israel, yeah. Okay. So they told me I have to wait 1 to 10 days. Okay. That is really frustrating though, because, well, at least I think with that sign up bonus, you do have a little bit of time. But I do know if you had something that you were planning on doing this particular, you know, the week, you know, a couple weeks before Christmas, that would be frustrating if I didn't have that to spend on. But yeah, okay. So it sounds like maybe it's just the digital thing. 2,000 may have been a little bit kind of, you know, a little bit too rich for their blood. But yeah, no, that's wild. I haven't heard of that happening yet. At least with Capital One. I know Amex can kind of be a little trigger happy sometimes too. Don Kim, your most recent bourbon and your most favorite bourbon. So Don Kim, I actually have to say that it's both the same because I just recently acquired the Blantons, and I just did the regular one. I didn't get like the green one, or they have one that's like kind of like has Japanese whiskey in it too or something. I didn't get that one. I just got the regular Blantons, and that one was one of my favorites actually. So this one was very smooth, a lot of really great richness to it. Just a really great sipping bourbon. So that one's, you know, probably my most recent, and my favorite. So Israel is saying, yeah, I just booked a vacation from the travel portal. Oh, okay. Yeah. That is frustrating though. Hopefully they didn't cancel that one though. That one's still standing. But yeah, no, that would be a lot. Let's see. LG 1914. Philip, what are your thoughts about the Hilton Aspire going into the new year? I currently have the Surpass. So LG, thanks so much for being here. Appreciate you. You always have some really great questions, so that's amazing. So the Aspire card, I really, really like. I really like the Aspire card, and part of that is because in Orlando, I have access to a lot of different Hilton resorts, right? And so we have the Conrad right here. We have the Waldorf. There's actually there's a DoubleTree that actually functions as a resort that's across the street from Disney Springs. And so there's a lot of really great places to use that credit. And so, basically, even if my wife and we don't travel, I'm still being able to use, because I just have to do a staycation possibly once a year, maybe twice, depending on how I feel like, kind of maximizing that credit. And so I like the Aspire. I definitely will, by the end of next year at least, turn my no annual fee Hilton card into an Aspire card, just because I want to have 2 free nights, because 2 free nights is in my estimation a lot better than having 1 free night. Because, like, so if my wife and we were to go to New York to stay at that Waldorf hotel that I was talking about, so it's $1,500 for one night in like their base level room. But if I have a free night award, then I get that $1,500 in value. But if I want to stay there 2 nights, that gives me a full day in New York City, where like I can actually just go from the hotel and do things. And it's not just I'm checking into the hotel and then I have to check out the next day. So, being able to save $3,000 by having 2 Aspire cards, like, I'm definitely into that. The only thing that I would say is that the Aspire card is less applicable to like daily spend than the Surpass is. So, like, if you're someone who uses your Surpass for everyday spend, like I think they have gas category and dining and things like that, then that may be less optimal for you for spending. But I definitely think the benefits are there. Like the Hilton Diamond status, you do still get the eating, the food stuff. You do still get some good stuff. Like, it's so far with Diamond, I've been able to get early check-in. Like, when my wife and we stayed at the Hilton Caribe in San Juan, Puerto Rico, we were able to get in. Like, I think checkout was at 4. We were able to get in like 1:30, something like that. And so that was nice. We stayed at the Conrad in London. We were able to get in closer to like 10 a.m. actually. So they really did us a solid there. And so that's kind of like where I'm at on the Aspire card. I love the diamond status, even with kind of the devaluation of sorts with the Diamond Reserve. Having diamond is definitely going to be better than not having it, right? And so that's kind of where I'm at. And plus, if you overseas, the diamond status gets you access to those executive lounges. Now, it's not going to give you access to the premium lounges, right? Like if you go to the Conrad in DC, they have what's called the Sakura Lounge, and that one you don't get with the diamond status, but you would get it with the Diamond Reserve status. So, I mean, if they end up changing it and you get Diamond Reserve with the Aspire card, which I don't really see happening, that could be really solid too. So I definitely would say I'm planning on keeping it. In fact, I'm planning on adding another Aspire card to my roster. So I'm definitely bullish on the Aspire card. Filmo, I never spend until I get physical cards, mostly because I am an old man baffled by technology, but also for that reason. Yeah, whenever they give you that digital card, there's always kind of a security risk of sorts. And so, because it could not be you that actually applied to the card, and so that could be kind of a key consideration as well. And thanks so much to LG for becoming a new YouTube member. You're awesome. I do have one that I actually have to drop today too, so that'll be good. Dim saying most bourbons at Total Wine today. Pretty big haul for the holidays. Nice. That's amazing. What is your favorite bourbon, Dim? I'm looking for kind of more recommendations. I've really enjoyed the Four Roses, the single barrel. That's been really good. And then, I tried a Jefferson reserve. I think I have that. It's not as favorite. Like, I don't like that as much as the Four Roses single barrel, but it's pretty good. So Oscar's saying at Israel, I also spent around 2,000 within a few days of getting the Venture and I actually used a virtual card number, and it was on a few purchases outside the U.S. My account's never been restricted. That is wild, huh? It's good to know about the virtual card number that we go, because my wife and I are definitely thinking about doing adding that in. And so that's good to know. All right, Airgo or Air GP. I know you did a video on the Robinhood Gold Card. Someone else did a video saying 3% back on basically all purchases is not going to last, according to the CEO. Hate to waste a 524 slot. Okay, so the Robinhood Gold Card, I've heard a number of people on Reddit are talking about the fact that they're hearing from these customer service reps. I don't know which customer service reps they're talking to, but people are saying they're hearing that the applications will open up more to more people in the new year. So with that, if you're worried, there we go. Okay. So if you're worried about keeping that 3% back long term, I definitely don't think it'll survive more and more people using it, because so that interview that we're talking about with the CEO happened I think it happened last year when he was first rolling out the card. And he said he's expecting to make the economics back on it from people carrying a balance. And so my Robinhood Gold Card has I think it's close to a 35% interest rate. It's my highest interest rate on any credit card I have. And so they're hoping that I mess up and I end up having to pay that 35% interest. But and so they're just hoping that some people are like that. And so if that happens, then the 3% will stay. But if it doesn't happen, and Wells Fargo made that gamble and they lost, and that's why the Bilt card is going away and then coming back with cardless. So I definitely, if it's true that more and more people use the card or are able to get the card, then I think that it's more likely that 3% could be downgraded. And so, or maybe it'll be like you could keep 3%, but you have to upgrade to like maybe a new Gold Elite, subscription tier or something like that. So I think they'll play around with it. I've gotten a lot of use out of it, but would I use it as my everyday spend card? No, primarily because the travel protections aren't as great as other Visa signature cards, which is important to note. But it's also true that if I wanted to do some type of a thing where like I was disputing a purchase, I would actually have to snail mail something to a PO box. And so that could be really problematic, just because if the bank's not going to stand behind you so much, then what's the point of using a credit card? And so that can be kind of a key consideration. I do know a lot of people that use it as their everyday purchase card and they're fine with it. And so, it's just purely up to you. If you are genuinely concerned about the 524 slots though, you're not getting a sign up bonus with that, right? And so, that would be kind of, if you're genuinely concerned about 524, maybe kind of stand back from it. But if you're like 3% today is better than, 2% tomorrow, and like, let's just get the card while we can, then, I'd say jump on it. So sorry that wasn't as definitive as an answer, but it's really kind of depends on, who you are as a person, Air. All right, Israel. Well, Oscar, hoping all goes away. I submitted all the documents, and hopefully they just unlock the account when they call me. Yeah, I hope so too. Keep us updated. We'd love to hear kind of how this is going. All right, Dim, Four Roses and Bullet are my regular go-tos. Blanton's is good. I have a bottle of Van Winkle 12-year that I'm saving for a special occasion. That is amazing, Dim. I've heard a lot of really good things about Van Winkle. It's been a while since I've sipped it though. But yeah, no, Four Roses, it's a good one. It's relatively inexpensive. I can get it for $45 or $40 a bottle at the Costco liquor store, and so that's that's pretty nice. Awesome. Dim here, client gave me a bottle of Glenfiddich 21 this week. Looking forward to trying that out. That is amazing. I have some Macallan 12-year that I'm working on too, but I think they have an 18-year that I'm kind of working up the courage to actually buy. So we'll see how that goes. But yeah, that's amazing. Good job. Jimmy, good day, Philip. I have 5 cards. 3 of them are Chase. The oldest is the Chase Freedom Unlimited that was opened at 12/30/23. So that's your oldest. Okay. So my history is 2 years, 0 month. I know my velocity is relatively high. Am I under 524 now? So, okay. So you have 5 cards. So generally speaking, 524 it kicks into play the month after you open that card. And so like if you opened it in December, then I think it could either be, you could be under 524 either in January or maybe sometime in February, just depending on how that particular thing happened. So I would definitely wait until after this particular month because that one's 2 years, 0 month. So I would probably wait until January just to be on the safe side. But just, yeah, so I would think, I definitely think that you have the capability of getting another card, but I may wait until January just to be on the safe side. But if you're fine with having more inquiries, then you could go for it now. But I would definitely wait until after whatever your statement as of December 30th closes. Like say like if you've already had a statement close and then you have another statement that's closing like the first week in January, I would wait for that statement to actually close, wait a little bit for that to actually hit your report, and then you can kind of go into applying for a new card. At least that's how I would play that. Let's see. LG1914, thank you for that. I'm planning to keep my Surpass and add the Aspire for the benefits. Yeah, exactly. Okay, good. Yeah, I would say if you're going to spend on it, the Surpass is pretty much really good for that. We're coming to Orlando for Christmas and cruising out of Miami next year. That's awesome, LG. Love to hear that. Hopefully you stay somewhere really nice in Orlando. We have a pretty decent amount of spots. And just hit me up and we'll see if we can, get together. Let me know. I'm open. Definitely would love to meet a supporter of the channel. Also, any good restaurants you recommend that are under Resi in Orlando? Yeah, let's share my screen actually. Let me see if I can do that real quick. So I'm gonna go to Resi. I'm gonna go ahead and do this. I'm not sure if I have to log in. Yeah, we're gonna log in. Doing this on a new browser. So I'm going to log into my Resi account so I can kind of share my screen. So that's what I'm doing currently. But yeah, no, Resi actually is relatively easy to use in Orlando. There's a lot of really cool things that are kind of hotel things. Hotel restaurants are really solid. Love it when they give you the confirmation codes. That's always fun. Oh yeah, that would be that one. Okay. All right. So I'm logged in. We're going to go ahead and do this. It's going to look like Anthony, where it shows you kind of the whole situation. Like StreamYard. There we go. All right. So we're going to go ahead and add this to the stage, and then we're going to take a look at Resi. Okay. So we're going to go to Orlando. So we're just going to search. Yeah, here we go. Okay, so Prato is a really good Italian restaurant, and it's in Winter Park, which is kind of the nicer part. This one actually might be a little bit more difficult to get reservations for, but really, really good. The number of people that I work with at my job have come here. They're really happy about that one. Let's see if we can see some other ones that I really, really like. We have a couple new ones too, which is nice. Otto's High Dive is supposed to be really good. Let's see if we look. I'm just going to try to open it up completely. Maybe there's a map view. There we go. Okay, we can view all Orlando restaurants. Okay, so this is actually really good. The Stubborn Mule is really one of my favorites too. This is in Thornton Park, so this is kind of a nicer area of the downtown area. This one's really kind of like kind of fancy American style. Let's see. Pigs I've heard really good things about. Haven't been there, but this is honestly my go-to favorite. This is in Winter Park called the Ravenous Pig, and it's actually really, really solid. And it may look kind of ritzy, but my wife and I, when we go all out, we kind of actually it's very easy to stay under $100 for a date night there. So this can be really good. So that's really solid. But there's also some closer to the parks. Let me see if I can zoom out that way and go here to the parks. So we have a couple. Let's see. We have some here that are, yeah, so all the Lowe's hotels in the Universal area, their restaurants are pretty much there. Then we also have some other ones here that are in Kissimmee. Let's see. This one here is Four Flamingos. The Bar Helios at University of Helios Grand Hotel is on there. So if you're in the Universal area or even the Disney area, there's a couple of really solid options. So that's really good. And so that's kind of basically, yeah. So those are all the restaurants that I really like. And so, yeah, totally. That's amazing. Yeah, yeah, there we go. Okay, so Mike is saying the Stubborn Mule in Orlando is excellent. Yeah, it's really good. And their drinks are actually pretty good too. They really do some really kind of cool experiment stuff. Awesome. Israel, could you do a video on travel partners for Capital One? Yeah, totally. I can definitely do that. Because it's Capital One has some really good opportunities. I really like the Virgin. I really like Air France. Let's see. There's also they do have Choice. Definitely not one of my favorites. Let's take a look at. I was just messing with Capital One recently. Let's see. Transfer partners. Let's take a look here. There we go. Okay. So I've really pretty much only moved my Capital One miles to Virgin. The Accor program. The Accor program is actually really solid. If you're interested in staying at, I think fair. There's a couple really nice hotels that are in Accor. 2-to-1 transfer ratio basically means that you're getting about 1 cent per Capital One point. So it's not the best, but if you're trying to save direct money on hotel stays, that's pretty good. Air Canada is a really great way to book United flights domestically. Air France is a really great way to book Delta flights domestically. British Airways, Cathay, good way to book American Airlines domestically. Let's see here. Finnair is obvious too. The I prefer is 1 to 2, which is not bad. It's just not as good as Choice or Cities hotels because it's 1 to 4 for them, and so that's important to note too. But you can actually still get some pretty good options with the I prefer hotels. Virgin's good. Let's see. Turkish can actually be some decent things. The only thing you have to fly through, through Turkey, and so that's that maybe make your flight a little bit longer. But yeah, no, those are really good. The only thing I wouldn't recommend doing is transferring to JetBlue, just because that transfer ratio for Capital One is complete trash. But yeah, no, there's a lot of really, really good options there. But yeah, no, thanks, Israel. I'll make sure I do a video kind of running that down. So we'll do that. All right. So LG 1914. Oh man, I would love to grab lunch with you on there. I was definitely looking forward to meeting you in Charleston. I'm from South Carolina. Okay, great. Yeah, we're definitely going to be in Charleston. We're definitely going. I just don't know if we're going to be staying at that particular hotel because I am kind of reserving some of my Chase points. So I actually haven't made that booking just yet, but hopefully that is still available. But yeah, no, definitely. Just let me know. You can message me in Discord or however you want to is great. Okay, Michael Simpson. I recently went to Amatista Cookhouse and the Kitchen, both at Lowe's hotels inside Universal's. Okay, that's really great to know. I haven't been to any of the Lowe's restaurants, Lowe's hotel restaurants recently, and so it's good to hear actually that they're really good. All right, let's see. Amex, do you know any good ways to use Amex Book to book domestic trout? I'm assuming that's Amex points to book domestic travel. Is that what we're looking at? But yeah, so honestly, I would say I'm assuming that's member reward points, right? So Amex or yeah, American Express. So I would say Delta is an easy thing. The only problem with that is you do have this kind of the taxes of the actual moving of the points. But you can definitely use Air France or Virgin Atlantic to book Delta flights. That's award space. So that can be sometimes a really good option. Cathay Pacific to book American, British Airways, or any obvious program to book American is possible. And then United through Air Canada is really good too. And so but pretty much, yeah, you can book domestic. Delta might be your best bet. The JetBlue one is the transfer ratio is less egregious than Capital One, but it's still not as good as like Chase or City. So that's important to note too. But yeah, and then LG, awesome. Thanks for all your recommendations. Definitely still learning a lot using my cards and benefits. Absolutely, yeah. Thanks for the great questions, man. It's been, you have some really great thinkers that kind of add to the conversations. Because one of the things that I've learned is that if you're asking a question, chances are a lot of other people are asking that same question. So, definitely. Thanks so much for bringing that to us. All right, and then Israel, what should I be looking for when I want to do points 1-to-1? Okay. So what should I be looking for when I want to do points 1-to-1? Okay, so I think if you're okay, so are you asking about like cents per point, or like what would you like to accomplish with your travel? I think that's kind of like the big thing, because like you can kind of look for the cent per point, or you can look for like I'd really rather use points to make this particular flight happen. And so sometimes those two things can coincide, but sometimes they're kind of different. So if we're looking for 1-to-1, let me just do just a random. Let's do delta.com, and then I'm going to log into Virgin Atlantic too. All right, so while I'm logging into all this stuff off the camera, because I don't really want to show you all of my wonderful secrets, let's do. I'm going to look for the same flight. So I'm just going to do Orlando to DCA. We're going to do one ways. And let's just pick a random day in April. So we're going to pick April 16th of this year. And we're going to search some flights once I get logged in here. Then I can share my screen after that happens, just because I don't feel like giving you guys my login information for all these flight loyalty programs. Hopefully you can. Okay, yeah. Okay, so yeah. So all right, so you can relate to that. Okay, so we're gonna do this real quick. I'm just going to put it here. All right, so we're gonna do MCO real quick. So Orlando to I'm gonna do DCA, which is Ronald Reagan or Washington Reagan one way, and I think we did April 15th, if I remember correctly. So we're gonna look at April 15th, just a random day, just so you can see, kind of compare what's available either by booking directly or by going through a partner. So we're going to take a look here. This is Delta. We're going to look specifically for the 15th. And so let's say, okay, so we're seeing here that a flight is available. We're going to hide that for a second. On the 15th for as low as 5,300 points. Now, there's a couple caveats here. And the first one is that I have the Delta Business Gold card. And so what that means is I get 15% off of reward bookings. And so basically for this flight, if I wanted to leave at 10:30 a.m., get there at 12:50, I could pay 5,300 miles for Delta Main. And so this is actually going to be Main Basic. And so this is important to note if you are someone who's wanting to get into the Delta Sky Club or even the Centurion Club with a credit card, you definitely want to make sure you're doing the Main Classic, not the Main Basic. And so if you're not really interested in lounge access, maybe the Main Basic could be good, but you do have to accept that you have no changes. Your seats are assigned after check-in, ineligible for upgrades, board in zone 8, limited overhead bin space, the whole 9 yards, right? This is the one ticket you don't want to do, right? And so we want to do the Main Classic. And so this is going to be 8,000 points for this particular flight. Now, what I do want to do is pop over to okay, so I was picking the wrong day, actually. What I want to do is pop over to Virgin. We're going to search flights. I may actually need to log in. Okay, yep, okay. So I'm just going to go ahead and remove this from the screen real quick, and then we're going to log in again. This was super fun. Okay, here we go. All right, so now we're going to April 16th. Yeah. All right, so both of them now should be April 15th. So thanks for catching that. Sorry about that. Okay, so we were looking on this one, so the 10:30 to 12:50, and we can see at main cabin for 11,000 miles. And so what you'll notice is that if I had this, then if I have the Delta Business Gold, then having 8,000 points is definitely better than 11,000 points, right? It's even if you didn't have it, it'd be 9,500 points. And so it would be cheaper then to transfer directly to Delta to make this booking. And so that's important to do. And honestly, actually, having Delta first for 28,000 points is not actually that bad either. So I would also consider that booking. So I'm definitely not going to finish this booking. So I'm going to go ahead and hit the back arrow. But not some bad options. But so we have that available. So you can actually book the exact same flight with Virgin Atlantic. And so let's say that if you don't have enough Amex miles to actually make this booking happen, then you can kind of transfer maybe Capital One points to Virgin as well. And so basically that would be the reason why you would use kind of a common partner like that. And so you can use Air Canada for United flights the same way. And so, there are some cases where it would make more sense to use the Virgin, or there could be more cases where, it make more sense to use the Delta. So the great question, Israel. But yeah, no, if you definitely have any other travel questions, kind of just let me know and we can kind of go from there. But yeah, just check the transfers. What I like to do first is figure out who flies on the flight that I want to go on. And then I will go through then at that point and see, okay, how can I book that particular one with points? And definitely check the alliances, because that can be kind of a really big deal. Exactly, yeah. So the same flight you can book through Virgin. You can also do the same thing with Air France too. So that can also be a possibility. And so, like I said, it's the exact same Delta flight. It's just a couple different ways to book it. So yeah, great question, Israel. Thanks so much. Okay, so we are kind of starting to round out into well into our second hour. So I'm just going to go ahead. I am planning on going to be on here for another 10 minutes. But if you do have a question or something you do want to ask about, feel free to do that kind of in the chat. But then we are going to be wrapping up in the next 10 minutes or so. So one thing that I did want to talk about is my wife and I are actually, I'm very glad that people were asking about the Venture X, because my wife and I are going to be doing that, because we're going to be doing a couple of expenditures. So we are getting ready, the nursery ready today, and we're going to be doing some other things, but then we have to have to fill out with some furniture in there and things like that. And so we're going to be putting some spin. So we're actually going to be getting the Venture X, and I'm really looking forward to using that $300 travel credit before the end of the year, and then hopefully that it actually kind of resurfaces for next year too. So we actually get $600 in travel credit instead of just the 300. So that's kind of one thing that we're looking at doing. LG says, one more question. I've only had the platinum for a few months. We are an active duty military family. I was wondering how I could still use the hotel credit. Can I book for future dates? Absolutely. Yeah. So LG, one thing, just kind of to give you some insight into how I'm going to be using my credit. So I currently have the business platinum card and the personal platinum card. And so what I'm going to be doing is, I know that my wife and I are going to be staying at the Caledonian in Edinburgh, Scotland, and we have some general dates that we're going to be there. And so once those dates become a bookable through Hilton, what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go on, because that's a Fine Hotels and Resorts thing, and that stay is going to be next November. And so this time, so I have the business platinum and the platinum card. I'm going to book one night on the business platinum card, get that $300 credit. And then I'm going to book another night on the personal platinum card, get that another $300 credit. And then once January rolls around, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to book one night on the personal platinum, and then another night on my business platinum. And that way we'll have 4 nights with, as much as, so it was almost $1,200 in credits from those 2 cards. And so if I do need another stay, and I can book another 2 nights in July when that credit refreshes. And so yeah, no, you can definitely use for future dates, so you don't have to stay at another hotel in the next couple of weeks. So really, really great question. Yeah. Israel, really appreciate your time. It's very cool that you do this. Thanks so much. I watch a couple other people, but they don't do lives. Yeah, no, thanks so much. And I appreciate you being here. Honestly, every person that's here, thank you so much for being here. It really makes it worthwhile when you're just not screaming into the empty void, right? If people actually are listening and kind of learning and kind of exploring, what to do with credit cards, and it makes it all worthwhile. So thanks so much for that. I really appreciate you being here. So the Fine Hotels and Resorts. In fact, actually, I do have I have another offer for another business platinum for 250,000 points, and I'm like, do I want to do that? Do I want to do that? Yeah. I think I might actually, because I would immediately get the United Travel Bank for the 200. I would immediately get the Fine Hotels and Resorts credit. So that's $500 off the bat. Another Delta credit, some more Hilton credits. Then yeah, that would really be solid. So I might end up having to do that. Let's see. Pana. I'm not sure where the spaces go, so I'm just going to say Pana. Thank you so much for being here. Do you think booking through Built is superior than Chase Travel or Amex Travel? So I will say the only travel portals that I've used so far were American Express. And that was just specifically with the Fine Hotels and Resorts program. And so I haven't booked through Built or Chase or Amex. So I really wouldn't have the best answer. I mean, honestly, I would say the back end on, if it's not one of the special like loyalty program hotel things, it's not going to be that much of a difference between booking either one, because it's just going to show up as Expedia or whichever back end service they use to the hotel. And so if you're not booking something through the Edit collection or through the Fine Hotels and Resorts collection, then I would say it may not even matter really. Just whatever you get the best deal at or the best returns on. But yeah, that's a really great question. East Servers says best catch-all card. So I will answer. So basically, what I'm currently using, I currently have the Venture card, and again, my wife and I are getting the Venture X, so I will be using that. Yeah, honestly, the best catch-all card is whatever helps you get the points that you want. right? And so, like, if, for example, if I really wanted to go all in on American Airlines or I prefer, then I would probably want to do the city double cash, right? Because that gets me 2x back on the points that actually help me do the most. And so that's a huge deal, right? You definitely want to make sure that you're kind of helping your own travel goals actually take place. And so that's kind of the big question. But for me right now, I love the Venture card. I love the Venture X idea. And I love the fact that the Venture X is Visa, which means I can use it at Costco. And so because my wife and I are going to be using a lot more trips to Costco, having that 2x back is going to be really, really huge. And so that's good to know. So again, so my personal catch-all is the Venture card. Really happy with that. But just because I like that doesn't mean the City Double Cash is bad, or maybe the Wells Fargo Active Cash is more your style. Or even honestly, the Fidelity Rewards Visa. If you're going to do cash back, it's not a bad card. The Visa Signature has some good protections, no foreign transaction fees. It's really solid. I love it. All right, so let's see here. LG, it's good to see the Venture X getting more love because I do love that card and the Saver, and I'll be using the travel credit from Bo to cover the Miami flight for the cruise. Nice, that's amazing. I have my Saver here. So this actually, I've only had this one open for about a year or so. So whenever my wife does get approved for the Venture X, I'm going to be product changing my Venture card to the Saver card because that's an offer. And then I'm actually just going to be closing this particular Saver card. And so, but yeah, no, the Saver card is awesome. My wife and I, we recently went to Cinépolis. It's a movie theater that also has like a kind of a dining option. And we got 3x back on that, which was really, really nice. So yeah, that's amazing. Yeah. So, Pana has some more. Pana has some more kind of data here saying with Built, it's realized as direct booking through all the hotel chains. Okay, yeah. So if that is true, then I would definitely say, yeah, I would prefer Built because if it's realized as a direct booking with that hotel, then that means that you're earning towards loyalty. That means that you're earning points. That means that you're able to apply your loyalty benefits, which if you have like Hilton Gold or Diamond status or Marriott Gold or Platinum status, then that can really make a difference with that booking. So yeah, if that's true, then I'd say definitely say do Built then. Yeah, that would be awesome. Israel says, yeah, the Costco is such a cool idea. Yeah, Costco for that is just incredible. So really excited about that particular thing. But yeah, so the Venture, honestly, so I have to talk about the Capital One Duo. So I really do love the Capital One Duo. It's kind of, it has been my secondary system just because most of my points have been redeemed through Virgin or Air France. And so those are available both on Amex and both with Capital One. And so, we got Key back actually. So Key's still here. So we're going to go ahead and add her to the studio. Key, welcome back. Hi, thanks so much for being here.
Are we still doing this thing?
Yeah, definitely. We're
Let's
on.
Go.
So yeah. Yeah, thanks so much for coming back. But yeah, no, we were just talking a little bit about Capital One a little bit. And actually, so I wanted to ask your perspective.
I think I messed up my audio.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Sorry. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Okay, well, I'm going to keep talking. Okay, you can hear it. Yeah. Okay, cool. Awesome. All right, so Pana brought up an interesting question. Hopefully you can hear me. All right, you got those newfangled headphones. Okay, great. Got those. How do you like the AirPods Pro Max or whatever they're called?
I just got them on Friday, so unknown, but like I have like a big head and big ears. They're so comfortable. They're so comfortable. That's amazing. So far, so good.
Okay, great.
Awesome. I have my first flight on Tuesday, so I'll let you know how they are with noise canceling.
Oh, yeah.
I might have to go back. to my Sonys. We'll see.
I know. Yeah. I did have for the longest time the Bose 700s, and those were really nice, but I found myself really kind of preferring to use the AirPods just because I could switch easily from my laptop to my iPad and stuff. And so I really wanted to get those, but they're so expensive.
So expensive.
Yeah.
Here's what I did to make them cheaper. The other day they were $399, which they're normally $600.
Whoa.
But then Amazon, with the Amazon card, you could sign up and get a $250 off.
Oh, nice.
So come on, I had to get them. I had to have them.
That's amazing. I love that. All right. Well, I hope the flight goes well.
Thank you.
No, you're good.
Just to be the elephant in the room, my parents came by and brought some chicken noodle soup, that's so nice. And then my neighbor stopped by, and he makes like handmade stuff. He made me like a hamburger press, because I do a cookout for my neighborhood every year. So
that's awesome.
I would double visit, and I was like, please stay away from me. But thank you so much for coming.
That's so cool. I love that. That's amazing.
Sorry I jetted like fast. I apologize.
No, you're totally fine. Yeah. We had 51 people in the room, and I was like, well, let's just keep this one going. So,
let's keep it going. I'm back, baby. Yeah. Let's go.
Woo. All right.
Okay.
Hannah had a good question. Do you think booking through Bilt is superior than Chase Travel, or Amex Portal? And the follow-up is he was saying with Bilt, it actually comes through as a direct booking through all the hotel chains.
Yeah. So, yes, right now I have to say the answer is yes, because basically Bilt's just passing your credit card information to hotels and to airlines.
Wow.
That's not always the case. And I don't know if it's just like a glitch on their side. I'm not sure. But what that means is you're getting your airline miles, and also you're getting your elite nights, or your, like Marriott has a bonus right now, 2,000 points every couple stays or something like that. So you're getting that. Whereas when you use like Chase or Amex, you're not getting that.
Wow.
So
that's amazing. Yes. Okay, cool. Yeah. That is so cool. All right.
And very cool. Very cool. And again, you don't have to have the Bilt credit card. You just have to have a Bilt account, just to be very clear on that.
That is nice. Yeah, I do that. That's the only way I'm able to actually get Bilt points, because they won't give me the card. Well, at least Wells Fargo wouldn't. Yeah. Let's see. So I wanted to ask you, what do you think about the Saver X rumors? Are you interested at all?
I'm interested, but is Capital One going to give me a 6th credit card? Probably not.
That's fair. Yeah.
So I want a Saver card. I'm hoping like one of my 2 Discover It's, they'll magically let me move into a Saver card. That's like my only saving grace. Tell me about the Saver X, though. I don't think I've read rumors. You know how I feel about rumors. Let me see.
Saver X. Yeah. So basically, the kind of the scuttlebutt that's on the internet is that so there was a survey that went around this past summer, and basically the reason why people are talking about it now is because a couple people have posted on Reddit that they're actually hearing from customer service agents that they could be able to actually do a product change, maybe with a bonus, to a new card that is to open up. And so everyone's kind of like, okay, is it finally the Saver X card? And so anyway, the latest information we have on this potential Saver X card was that email that came out last summer, where I think it was like $295, but it was 4X on dining and entertainment, 3X on groceries, and then it had a couple of coupons. One was a $100 travel credit through the portal. One was $100 in food. And then it also had Uber One, and there was another thing, Apple TV, I think.
Okay. Now that sounds like a heavy hitter.
Right? Yeah.
I'd be interested, and I would definitely try and use the pre-approval tool, but I know what it's gonna say before I even click the button on the pre-approval tool. So here's the thing though, like the Saver, the Hyatt card, like guys, they're always sending out surveys. They're just sending those out. Keep in mind, like the marketing and the research teams are very different from the teams that actually put the cards together and launch them. So like sometimes we have to take this stuff with a grain of salt. Sometimes it does end up being true, but like I feel like since 2017 we've been talking about a Hyatt card, a premium Hyatt card.
That's true.
And I haven't seen it yet, y'all. So like maybe there's a Saver X, maybe there won't be. I'm just saying, like, let's play the game we have now and let's worry about the rest later on.
Yeah, and that's fair. Like, when all of the stuff that we knew about a city premium card was definitely, I'd say, probably maybe like the vast majority of it wasn't actually accurate, right? And so, everyone knew that there was going to be one, but then, when we found out what it was actually going to look like, it still took a lot of people by surprise, just because they didn't really know how the multipliers were going to look. And so, that's definitely a good kind of caveat there.
Mm-hmm. But it's good to plan ahead, but like we can't plan ahead with fictional cards. That's all. Like we gotta do what we can with what we got. That's all.
That's true. Yeah. With that said, are you waiting for Built 2.0 to see? Are you going to try to apply to any of those?
Um, Too soon for me to know. But I will say with the Rakuten card, they're gonna have to come out with something that is equivalent at the bare minimum for no annual fee. Because if not,
That's
then I
true.
just won't have it. I just won't have it. Right now, I
Yeah.
switched my Rakuten to earning build points. So
I did too. I originally didn't because I was worried about not being able to switch it back to Amex points. But then some people did some research and found that yes, you can switch back. And so I was like, okay, I'll do that.
yeah, exactly. Exactly. I have enough Amex points, and it sounds like you have enough Amex points too. So
Yeah,
let me
that's
ask you
true. Yeah.
this. I have a question. How
Sure.
many people in the chat, and also Philip, please answer this as well. Are you the
Yeah.
type of person that buys like, you know how they have like 100x on like VPNs or whatever, like in rack? Are you the type of person to buy that type of stuff? And if so, maybe you can like talk me through it. I haven't done it, and I don't know. I
Yeah.
haven't done it.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's actually, so that is the reason why I have a VPN. And it's also the reason why I have a Poinsettia subscription and a Seats.Arrow subscription. So, yeah. So the Poinsettia thing, that was actually through an American Airlines portal thing, because I think it was like 25x or something. And so I just got, 2,500 American Airlines points for that, one purchase. And it's definitely something that's actually helped me save a lot of points and money on my redemption bookings. But it's also something that helps whenever I have like a consulting call where someone's like, I'm trying to make this travel thing happen. Like, I'm just like, oh yeah, let's just try all these search tools and see which one gives us what we want. And so, it's definitely a business expense. Wink, wink. Gonna help try to convince the IRS of that. But yeah, I got that, and then I did the VPN the same way. So I did get a VPN for I think 6 months before I did on my international trip, just because I wasn't sure. I knew I was going to be in airports and hotels and stuff, and so I wanted something that was a little bit more secure. But then after that one ended, I didn't have one, and so I just saw that there was one. I was like, yeah, sure, why not? We'll do that. I think it's NordVPN is the one I got, and I actually do use it because YouTube is blocked on my school's Wi-Fi account, so I can't do anything. So, that's a good way to get around it.
How can you watch me at school? Like, how can you
I know.
possibly? No, I'm
Right.
just kidding.
Come on.
I'm just kidding.
Let's
I'm
go.
just kidding.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Yeah.
Okay, very cool. Okay, so I mean, I say that I don't prepay for points, but like that's all we do, right? All of us. So interesting. I'll have to take a deeper look at some of those, especially when they're like super elevated offers.
Yeah. Bianca actually says, so definitely just purchase Surfshark through Rakuten for the 97x points. Yeah.
Okay, see, like that's crazy. Dang, that's cool.
Yeah.
Right,
I did a YouTube post yesterday because Rakuten had a Capital One offer, or no, not Rakuten, sorry, Viator had a Capital One offer. It was 35x on anything through Viator. Like, I think it was like Friday, maybe was the like day only. And like people were asking me, like, what are you going to get? I was like, I actually can't book anything. Like, I don't know where I'm going. So, but like that would have been really solid too.
Dang. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I got to take more initiative when these offers roll around.
Yeah. It's kind of tiring because you have so many different portals, like between American Airlines portal, the Southwest portal, if anyone cares about that anymore. And then there's Rakuten and Capital One offers. And it's just like, it's a lot to keep up with.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Absolutely. Okay. Thank you, Bianca. Thank you, Philip. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Oh, Israel has some more good questions. So can you please tell me about Rakuten? Do they charge your bank or your credit card? Interesting. Okay. So it sounds like Israel is really, really interested in learning more about Rakuten. And perhaps, do you have a referral code you would like to drop in the chat?
No, that's all you. That's all you. This
right.
is your live stream, Philip. But ultimately, I'll take a stab at it, Philip. I know you're the teacher,
Yeah,
so
sure.
you can clean this up after I take a stab here. Okay,
Definitely.
so Rakuten is an extension that you add to your internet browser. Basically, if you go to like Nike.com, there's going to be a pop-up that says, would you like to activate Rakuten? You're not doing anything different when you make your purchase. So if you normally use a debit card, you can still use that same debit card, or hopefully, maybe you're using a credit card, getting some extra points. You can use that as well. And again, Nike.com, Kohl's, Walmart. Just trying to think of some ones that are on there. But it's just you do your purchase and you get like extra. You can get cash back. You can get American Express membership rewards points, or you can get Bilt rewards points. You have the choice of kind of moving between those options, or PayPal money as well. I think there's a PayPal option as well. But Philip, please clean it up. Clean it up. Did I?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So Rakuten, it works exactly like that. And so pretty much like it just works as a way for you to kind of enhance your earnings or enhance your savings, essentially, basically. And so it's kind of like a referral service. Now, it was a lot better back when the Platinum Card offered a shop subscription, or was it Shop Runner or something like that? Just because that allowed you to get free shipping at a lot of these places. And so that was really nice. But I know a lot of the new Amex cards don't actually do that, which is kind of a problem. But pretty much basically, if you're going to buy something, look at Rakuten and see like, okay, if I can buy that thing at Macy's, and Macy's has a 15x deal right now, then you'll be getting 15 possibly membership reward points or Bilt points per dollar on that purchase. And so this is a really great way to kind of maximize kind of everyday shopping, maybe that most people don't actually really maximize. Now, I did actually just update the description to have a Rakuten referral link. So if you do want to use that, please go ahead and do that. That would help the channel out a little bit. I think you get $50, I get $50. And so that would be awesome. But yeah, so the Rakuten thing, it's really a great way to save some money. Some people really kind of go crazy with it. So what we were talking about is sometimes they'll have like a 97x offer on buying a VPN. And so you can buy this VPN for a year or 2 years. And, say, you can spend, $100 on that or 150 and then get 97x off of that. So you get 9,700 points. And so that can really be really huge. But yeah, great question, Israel.
You can tell who the teacher is and who is like the accountant. It's very clear.
Well, I could be the teacher, but you could be like the master because you're just dominating the whole points and miles game. So
stop that. Israel said something else that I wasn't quite sure about. It said Costco is such a cool idea. I'm not sure what that was in relation to. Maybe it was when I stepped away. Maybe you can fill me in on that.
Definitely. We were so I think someone had asked what my the best catch-all card was. And I was talking essentially East servers that asked that. And so what I was saying is that my catch-all card currently is the Venture, and it's going to be the Venture X because my wife's going to be applying to that soon because we have some baby expenditures and stuff like that. And I'm really excited about the fact that that's a Visa Infinite card because that means I can use it for Costco. And so I think that's kind of what he was talking about. So do you go to Costco at all?
So I actually just got a Costco membership this year.
Nice.
So I've been a couple of times. The hot dog got me. I'm a baseball fan, so I gotta get the Costco hot dog. I gotta get the Costco hot dog. But yeah, no, I've predominantly switched from going to BJ's into Costco now. So I don't have the credit card, but that's okay. I do like Costco.
Yeah, exactly. All right, so let's see here. We have so Pam actually has a really good question. Is the Amex Green 3x on restaurants worldwide or just U.S. restaurants? In my experience, I think it's worldwide. I think the only one that has a U.S. limitation is the Business Gold Card, but we could double check that.
I'm checking. I'm checking. Give me a sec.
Yeah,
I haven't had the green card in a minute.
It's been a minute for me too. Yeah,
it is U.S. takeout and delivery restaurants in the U.S. Yes, correct.
Whoa. Okay, that's good to know. All right. Well, So thanks for keeping us honest.
Yeah. Are there other banks? I feel like American Express is the only one that has like the in the US language. Like Wells Fargo doesn't have that. I feel like I can't name another, like Citi doesn't have that, for example. But I wonder, like,
I think how that's much money probably a network thing.
Okay. Like, geez, like how much money are people running through these?
Yeah, I think it's because like there's enough people in Europe where like it's an acceptable answer to say we don't take American Express. And so they probably had to play a little hardball, and they're like, we're not going to take 3.5. We're going to take, 2.5 or something. And so maybe that's just like their way of limiting that multiplier. That's what I think, but I could be off base. But no, that is a weird Amex thing.
Yeah, the language is confusing. I'm looking at the website and it does say earn 3 points per dollar dining at restaurants worldwide, including takeout and delivery in the US. Like that's very misleading. But
Oh, maybe
if
it's
you click into
takeout
the
and delivery.
words, I
Okay.
was gonna say I looked into the like fine print and it looks like it's just this. But maybe I'm reading it wrong. I'm on a lot of NyQuil and DayQuil, y'all. So I could be
Yeah.
definitely reading the fine print wrong.
Let me
If you
see
click
what.
on like that symbol and you go into the
Yeah.
words.
Yeah. It's such a huge document. Let me see if I can control F this one a little bit.
Oh, I could have given you the page number. Sorry.
Oh, no,
It's
you're
on
fine.
me. Oh, there's no pages. That's why I didn't do that. Okay. Can't tell you.
Okay. So for restaurants, you will earn 2 additional points for a total of 3 points for each dollar charged at restaurants. You may not earn additional points for purchases at restaurants located within another establishment, aka inside a hotel, or for purchases made through third-party food delivery services outside of the US. Okay, so it's worldwide restaurants, but food delivery services inside the US. That's weird. You will also not earn additional points for purchase at bars, nightclubs, cafeterias, and convenience stores. So Bucky's does not count according to this.
Okay. All right. So that
Yeah.
is so particular. Oh my goodness. That's so particular.
Yeah. That is very particular. Yeah, that's wild. It is kind of crazy they have to specialize, like specifically call out food delivery and services. Like that's wild.
Yeah.
All right, so Israel, I'm assuming that's bank instead of Bolt account or an Amex account to get the points. Yeah, so basically, if you don't have to create an account, right? I think you can just get them to send you a check, right? If you want the cash back.
Correct. Yeah. So you
Yeah.
have to go to use Philip's link, click on that. And it's going to ask you for your email and create a password. But then from there, nothing changes with however you're doing your online shopping. You don't need to have an American Express card or a special bank account or anything like that. Just do your normal online shopping and they'll eventually mail you a check. If you're interested in what the check looks like, I have an example on my Instagram, same handle. Just check it out. It's from many moons ago, but you'll see what the actual check
Awesome.
looks like. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome. Okay, cool. But yeah, so but if you do want the Amex points, you will need to have a membership rewards earning card attached to your Rakuten account. But if you just want cash back, then yeah, you can just get the check. Awesome, Pana. But there's the word worldwide in front. Yeah, it's weird. Yeah, the special little logo. Michael Simpson and my girl and I are huge Costco fans. Love their hot dogs too. I got a City Costco card this summer, and City gave me a very large credit limit on it. Guess to know how much I love Costco. Interesting.
That's awesome. That's interesting. I haven't heard of particularly high limits on that card.
Me neither.
Is it the store card you got, or does it have a It's Visa, right? Does it have a Visa logo on the front?
Yeah, it would have to be Visa. Yeah.
Okay.
That's a really good question.
I'm curious.
Yeah, I do know that they were really pushing it hard the last time I was there. They were like giving away those free refrigerated or the cooler insulated
tote
totes.
bags. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, that's a great sign up bonus. I'm really happy about that. But
my favorite's the chicken. Like, give me the rotisserie chicken, dude. Like,
yes. Yeah.
Give me that $5
too, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's true.
But yeah, that is interesting. It's funny. So I love to watch the Caleb Hammer videos. I don't know if you're a fan or not. He just yells at people.
I don't know who that is. Nope.
Okay. But he yells at people about their finances, and you can always tell like which cards are the ones that like trap the most kind of like regular people. Like people usually have like the highest balances on like their Quicksilver card or their Capital One Platinum card. I have seen a couple of people talk about their Costco cards and having a decent amount of debt on it though, but it's definitely not as widespread. But that's wild. Great for you though. Because I wonder if you can transfer credit limits from your City Costco card to other City cards.
So probably not. I've tried to reallocate money from City and you can't do it. Like I've tried hundreds of times. No. So I'd be shocked if they let you do that with a non thank you card, I guess.
Yeah, that makes sense. I was just like, anything to boost that a little bit.
Heck yeah. All right, I have some random questions for you. I came up with these in my mind. All right, here we go. On an airplane, if you were to pick Aisle, middle, or window? What is your go-to
Mm,
and why?
that's a great question. Everybody make sure to put that in the comment section as well. But for me, so if I'm in economy, it's the best one will probably be the aisle seat. And the reason why is because I'm kind of broad shouldered, which means like by the time like you start getting that curve on the window seat, like I'm kind of like already kind of bunched into the person next to me a little bit, which I'm not a fan of. Obviously, the middle is out for me because that just sucks for everybody. And so the aisle seat's where it is. Now it still does suck a little bit because like whenever they come through with the beverage cart, like I always have to like, kind of angle in a little bit, but that's definitely mine. But what's yours?
Okay, so I have two answers. I'm always an aisle person, period. I don't
Nice.
care if you have to go to the bathroom 1,000 times. I know my responsibilities as the aisle person. Do
That's
not be
right. Yeah.
shy. I'm getting up, but I need to be on the aisle. I need to be in control. The only time I
There
hate
we
the
go.
aisle is when I'm on a CRJ 200 or 300. I'll have
Oh
to look up
yeah.
the plane. My goodness, I'm I'm not that big, but like I have big shoulders too. I'm almost 5'10".
Mhm.
Um, I get crushed by people's backpacks, and like I can't
Oh
like I
yeah.
play football and I can't handle it. Like I'm like heck no. So on those flights, window. Everything else, aisle.
Yep.
I
Okay.
can't do it. I get crushed. I get crushed by people.
Yeah, that's bad. Yeah, you don't want to get crushed. Yeah. Yeah, especially like people honestly like I started doing like I have my carry-on roller and then I just put my backpack on there, but the people that wear their backpacks onto the plane are just like a special group of people. Like as soon as you turn around, you're just like taking people out. It's wonderful.
Yeah. For me, it's the people that got the backpack and like the. I'm not like super girly, but like they're not tote bags, but they're like the ones that like they don't go up here,
Oh
but they go.
yes.
My
Yep.
goodness, they got this thing like expanded to like 28x the
Hmm.
size of the bag. Come on,
Yes.
man. Come on.
Yeah. Come on. Yeah.
Come on.
That's amazing. I think we have a couple of answers to that question. So Panna says, for me, aisle. I never sleep on airplane, not even on a 17-hour long flight. And I don't mind getting up. I actually love getting up. Okay, yeah. That's solid. Especially for 17 hours. You don't want to be sitting still for 17 hours. Yeah. All right. And then Michael's saying, I love the window seat. Always try to find a flight where there are two seats on one side of the plane. And then my girl and I don't have to sit with anyone else. Yeah. That is one of the things I love about the A220s. I think those are the ones that have an aisle with two next to each other. And the first time we flew one was an Air France, like inter-European flight. And like it was still a tiny like economy seat, but like it was just me and my wife, and like I don't mind being pushed up against her, and so like it was fine,
The way you
and
worded that was hilarious.
yeah, and then we got the Breeze. They do the A220s too.
Mhm. Okay, okay.
Love Breeze.
Yeah. Gotta love Breeze. I love Breeze.
Yeah.
Window seat.
Uh,
I want to control the shade to keep it closed. I always fall asleep on the flight, so I make sure to wipe down the shade, seat back, and everything so I can sleep. Smart.
Smart. Yeah,
Smart.
very smart.
Every one of my travel bags, I have to have these to-go wipes because
Ooh,
airplanes are
smart.
disgusting. And
They are.
even though I'm sick right now, but I swear I wipe it down. I don't know how I get sick, but I'd rather
Yeah.
wipe it down than not.
Oh yeah, because they never clean those things.
No, I've never seen them clean it.
No, those turnaround times are just way too small.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Awesome. Background Balloon is here. Thanks so much for being here, Background. You are the legend. And then Israel Isle, I need to be able to get out. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So, question while we're asking about airfare stuff. Is it socially acceptable once the plane lands and you get to the gate and you can take off your seatbelts? Is it socially acceptable to stand up in the aisle with your bag?
Oh, that's deep. Okay. All right. So I'm answering this from a place of I'm usually like, and I'm not trying to sound like an asshole. I'm usually in the front, like Delta
That's true.
Comfort.
Yeah.
Like, okay, how about this? I'll say like row 1 through like 10. Okay. So
Yeah.
if you're row 1 through 10, yeah, you got to get moving. Like when that door opens, like you know how
Yeah, you
people
should
like
be
I'm
out
from
already.
Boston, like they'll honk at you like on the airplane, like they're like get moving. So
Yeah.
1 through 10, yes, totally fine. Anyone else, like if you're in 48D, what on earth are you doing standing up? Like
Yeah.
heck no. You need to chill. There's like 500 old ladies and old men. Heck no. you need to be relaxing. Unless you gotta go to the bathroom, like then that's fine. But like, nah.
Yeah. All right. So
What do you think?
going off of that, yeah, I do that, but then like I was thinking about it, is like we have been kind of towards the beginning. The last couple of flights we've been has been in first class, or at least the comfort or whatever it is they call it. And so yeah, no, I have started to do that. And whenever I do that, it's usually because like I'm trying to get my thing set up, because I usually, when we're going off the plane, just in the interest of time, I take my wife's carry-on and mine in addition to my backpack. And so like, I just take that time to do that. So, but yeah, we have been towards the front of the plane.
Okay. Let me ask you this. Okay. Next airplane question.
All right.
All right. At what point do you say we're only doing economy plus or up? Like economy, business, or first? Like, is there a set number of hours the flight needs to be?
Like, yeah. So so our internal rule is if we're traveling like overseas, it has to be at least premium economy. But it's getting to the point where it's like, I think, because if you're flying from JFK to Heathrow, that's almost as long a flight as it is from JFK to LAX or something like that. And so like, yeah, like, you're not going to get a lie flat seat unless you're like really able to figure out like what metal you're on and kind of make that work. So like first class, I'd say for that, just because like that's kind of the equivalent. But it's just, if it's a couple hours. We were, for the flight to Puerto Rico, we flew from Orlando to San Juan, and it was like almost 3 hours, and that was almost too much for economy. I was like, I need to be out of here.
Oh, you fancy. Okay. All right.
No, I'm just that big,
Hey, listen, I'm in the big kid crew too, so I get that.
Yeah.
All right.
Awesome.
Thank you for sharing that.
Yeah. Here's one question I wanted to ask you. So, let's say that you're in first class. Let's say that you're in Comfort Plus, and you're in the Sky Club. What boarding group do you actually board with? Do you like wait until like the plane's like about to close the door just to maximize your time at the club, or are you like, I'm there as soon as I can be in there?
It depends. Like if it's a club that's like not popping, like I'm just grabbing and going, so I'll board with my normal group. But if it's like a nice one, there's like good food selection, good drinks, the bartenders are doing their thing, I'm there. Like they're gonna maybe have to call me one time over the announcement kind of vibe. Like, hey, it's time. Yeah, it's time.
Nice. So, okay, cool.
Yeah, because like I'm gonna get my bag. Like, you know what I mean? Like my bag's going up there no matter what. Especially like if you're flying with Delta. Like I've even seen them be like people will try and put their bag up there and like, like, like no, your bag can't go here. My bag.
Yeah, I've started to notice that. It was funny. The very first time my wife and we flew first class, I thought I was doing something cool by sitting at the bulkhead, and it's the only problem with that is we sat in the bulkhead on the door side, and that's usually, which I found out, where the flight crew puts their bags, which means you don't have a place to put your bag. And so the first time we were just like, we weren't the first people in there, and so we actually had to push ours. I think it was like 7 rows back where our bags went, which was just like, it stresses me out on like leaving the plane, Yeah. And so we ended up actually like learning, like if you go a little bit back, like it's fine. And so, that was concerned, but yeah, the bulkhead is not my favorite way to fly, at least for those kind of flights.
Okay. Interesting.
All right. Yeah. Ooh, background balloon is got some opinions. Okay. Background balloon, window seat for less than 2 to 3 hours, aisle for anything longer. Okay. Probably won't need to get up if the flight is under 3 hours, but anything longer, and I would rather be the one who gets bothered.
Me too. Yeah.
There you go.
I don't care. Every minute you need to get up, I'm up. I don't even care. Like, let's do it.
Yep. Absolutely. Yeah. I love that. Background hot take, it's mildly infuriating when the pilots, flight attendants say, please let the people with a tight connection get off first, and people who aren't in a rush still proceed to block the aisle. Yeah.
Here is my problem with that. I completely agree with the statement. But dear airlines, you know that your on-time percentage is ass. Why on earth are the connection times 21 minutes at O'Hare?
I know.
Or 18 minutes in Atlanta? Like, no one's making that unless they're Usain Bolt, like trying to run through the gate and like Like, it's just crazy. So when people say that, I'm like I look around, and if no one like urgently gets up, I'm up, because like then I just know people are lying. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I look around, I'm like, all right, I'm getting up.
Yep. Yeah, it's so weird. The last 4 flights I've been on, they've said that, and I haven't seen anybody actually get up and leave. So, you know, it is what it
I mean,
is.
like, I think people just are like, I've missed it. Like I know I've missed it. Like, it is what it is. It's not my fault.
Yeah. I had a tight connection in Atlanta one time, and I actually legitimately ran. I think it was like A1, and it was like to D15 or something. And like and they did hold the door open for me. Like, I literally sprinted, and that was nice. But yeah, no.
That is nice. That is nice. I have a funny story with that. In Providence, there's only 20 gates, so it's a very small airport.
Oh.
Like, it's one long strip. Like, there's not like multiple terminals type of vibe.
Gotcha.
Daylight savings was that day, or you know how it happens at like 2 a.m. or whatever. I don't know. You know how it happens in the middle of the night.
Yeah.
None of the TV screens were updated. So I was like, oh, I got like an hour till my flight. I'm going to go chill in the lounge. How about the JetBlue person called my cell phone and called the lounge to say like, hey, we know you're here. Can you come board the plane? Like, we're leaving.
Oh, that's amazing.
I loved it. I was hustling though. I was dropping stuff. Like, you know how like when you're nervous, you're like, I was like, I gotta go. Forgot to tip the lady. I tipped her the next day when I saw her. I was like, oh my goodness, I'm sorry.
That's awesome. Yeah, I love it when they do that. That sort of personal touch is just incredible.
I love it. Yeah. I don't fly JetBlue often, but shout out to them, because like I would have been like an hour late. I would have been so annoyed. I would have went to the gate so late.
Yeah, that's awesome. Background wants to know if we have thoughts about Chase shutting down the Sapphire Lounge at Hong Kong. Seems like Chase wants to focus on domestic lounges based on recent moves, closing HKG while opening in JFK. I haven't really thought about it that much. Do you have any opinions?
I don't. When did the lounge open? Sapphire Hong Kong.
I think it was their first one, like their first international one, but I'm not sure how long ago that was.
Okay. I'm wondering if just the lease was up, and Hong Kong has some of the biggest lounges ever. And I'm just wondering if that's like in the US, there's just not space. Like at places like JFK and Boston, like the lounges are a good size, but they're not like international lounges where they're like mini malls to a sense. So I wonder if just the lease got expensive, guys. I don't think there's too much to worry about. I think it's just Hong Kong has some really nice lounges, and like, do they really want to compete with that?
Yeah, that's true. Especially when you think about like alliances and stuff like that. Like if you have like a decent status that you get access to like partner lounges and stuff, then like you're not going to go to the Chase Lounge. Yeah. All right, Mike Newland. What I don't like is when you're on a plane and you're waiting for a gate for an hour or two, when they get mad because somebody gets up to go to the bathroom because the plane can move at any moment. Yeah. Just be human. You know?
Yeah.
And he's at a follow-up point. You all know the flight crew will announce it before they move. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
All right. So I will say I will need to start wrapping up very soon. We can answer LG's question, and then I'll probably have to start packing up because I have a few Christmas parties to go to, actually. So,
love that. Love it.
Yeah. Awesome. Let's get to LG, though. I've never flown first class, but considering it for a cruise next year to Miami from South Carolina. I think it'll be worth it. Have $400 credit from VentureX and Saver. So I'll let you take first dibs on this one because you probably have a little bit more experience than I do.
All right. Depends on the points price. Like, it sounds like you're paying with points for this flight. So if the upgrade is minimal, sure. And when I say minimal, for me to move from where I am to first class, I do like $100 per hour I'm on the flight. So if it's a 2-hour flight, the most I'm willing to pay is $200 for that upgrade. Miami to South Carolina, I've never done that flight. It sounds pretty quick. I probably would not do that personally. I probably wouldn't.
Okay. Awesome. So this year we kind of had a first class renaissance. I've never flown domestic first class before in my life. And my wife and I, we flew on Delta, and then we flew Breeze Ascent, and then we flew American first class a couple times. And honestly, like, just
you said you said that so nonchalant. That was so cool. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Well, we had a couple 100,000 Amex points to kind of play around with this summer, and so we kind of went nuts a little bit. But yeah. And the first class thing with American was actually through because I just kicked out 200,000 points to Hawaiian before that shut down, and so that helped out a little bit. But anyway, like just being able to, like, if you're pre-gaming for like a party kind of vacation, like having unlimited, like well, not technically unlimited, but having like access to free booze like on the flight, and like all those unlimited like snack baskets and stuff, like that's a good pregame. You know, I'm good for it. You know, it depends on the points price though. Like if it's like 80,000 per seat or something, absolutely not. But if you can find a good deal for like 20,000 or 25,000 points with Delta or something, then yeah, let's do it.
Yep. But
All right.
otherwise, yeah, I wouldn't spend the money.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So fly first class unless it's too expensive, in which case don't. So. All right.
So we didn't answer it, but we did. But Phil, thank you so much. I'm sorry I had to come back. Like
no, yeah. Thanks so much for coming back. I really appreciate you, and thanks again for kind of scheduling this thing. This has been just a lot of fun. I love talking about credit cards and travel with you. So likewise.
Till next time, and hopefully there will be one. Everyone, travel safe, be safe, be extra kind, and if you're sitting in the aisle seat, don't be grumpy.
Exactly, right? Yeah. And a special shout out again to Vincent. Thanks so much for the super chat. And then to LG for becoming a channel member. You guys are the goats. So thanks so much. And thanks again for all of you people that have been here. You've been incredible. Our numbers have been kind of insane. So thanks so much again for people who stayed, honestly, the whole time. A lot of people did. So you guys are great. And we'll see you next week. Have a great day.